Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
This week, in Section, Alabama, a rugged mountain man finds love after the death of his first wife, but when she also disappears, things start to get a little bit weird. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello! And welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. As you can hear, we were having a little bit of fun before we started rolling today, having some good times here. But we have a crazy episode for you. Absolutely insane.
Right.
Can't wait to tell you all about it. First off, though, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Why?
Yep.
Live show tickets. Get them now because they are going extremely fast. I was shocked to see that there's really not a lot left. All the tickets through May are on sale right now. Even Pittsburgh is almost sold out. I mean, that's going
doing
fast.
great. Yeah.
Pittsburgh, St. Louis is like, it's going to be sold out probably this week.
It's
So
on
get
the
your
edge.
tickets. And Cleveland, holy, Cleveland's coming through.
Thank you,
We
Cleveland.
apologize for any disparaging remarks we've ever made. You're doing great. Thank you so much. Get in there, get those tickets. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of your bonus material.
Oh.
That's right. And by the way, Crime and Sports lives on. So you should listen to Crime and Sports. Trust us. We toned it. We pared it back a little bit in time and made it stronger and meaner and leaner. So check out
More
Crime and Sports.
concentrated.
But patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get bonus stuff for both crime and sports and small town murder. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get access to all of it. That's right. You're going to get the whole back catalog of bonus stuff. And every other week, you're going to get 2 new episodes, one crime and sports, one small town murder. This week, what you're going to get for crime and sports, we're going to talk about when players attack fans.
Yeah.
So when players have had enough and someone in the athletic prime of their life who's in the middle of a physical contest decides that a fight is the best option with a 50-year-old man who's got a hot dog in his hand. As you can tell, that never goes well, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll talk all about that. Then for small town murder, it's Nazis on drugs.
Hey!
That's right. We're going to talk all about the actual Nazis from the 40s and 30s and what the hell was going on there. What kind of drugs was the leadership on? Because we know we all know they gave the soldiers lots of meth, but what was Hitler taking? What was Goering on? We'll talk all about it. Because we have detailed stuff there. That is patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that. And a shout out at the end of the show as well, where Jimmie will certainly mispronounce your name, even though we'd love to get it correct. It's going to get bad here. That said, let's do the disclaimer. Yeah. It's a comedy show, everybody. We're comedians. This is a comedy show. We don't make anything up to make it funny. The stories are as real as it gets, unfortunately. But they happen, and we're going to talk about them. And we're going to make jokes about them. That's the other thing. But what we don't do, we go out of our way not to do. You can hear that and go, that sounds terrible. This is a horrible story. Why are you making jokes? Well, there's reasons to. That's why. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on around a murder. But what we don't do is we never make fun of the victim or the victim's families.
Why, James?
Because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags. And that's how that goes. So if that sounds good to you, climb on board. We got a crazy episode. If not, you think true crime and comedy should never go together, I don't know. Go away, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Take a hike or listen, but don't complain later. I don't know what to say. For everybody else, though, I think it's time to sit back. Where are you? Even if you're stuck in traffic, get out, climb onto the hood of your car, and scream back at the line of cars behind you. Look right in their dead, cold eyes and say, Shut up and give me murder. Watch people lock their doors and roll their windows up. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's go on a trip, Jimmie. What do you say? We're going on down south this week. So, we've been bouncing all around. We were in New York. We're over here. We're over there. Now we are in Alabama. Heading on down to Alabama. And this is a different kind of Alabama, too, than we normally talk about here. This is Section Alabama is the name of it. Okay. Just like it's a section of Alabama, this section. Because is it
just missing the number 8?
Actually, I think it's 16. We'll talk about it. That's the original number.
Double Section 8.
This is in the northeastern part of Alabama. This is in the hills, in the mountains. We think of Alabama more of a swampy place, but in the northeastern corner of the state is the southern tip of the Appalachian Mountains. And these people... This is some really
Georgia pines. That's true.
This is some out there hill country. These are don't get lost in them hills type of thing. Where literally the people from there don't go up there. Like, don't go up that hill. Like, you'll never come back. It's scary place. We'll discuss. It's about an hour 45 to Birmingham, Alabama. If you want to go to, I guess, the capital there. 3 hours to Montgomery, Alabama. There. Or is Montgomery the capital? I don't remember Alabama. I think it's Montgomery, actually. It's Montgomery, I think.
I think it is Montgomery.
Yeah, it's Montgomery, I believe. Yeah. And then 4 hours and 42 minutes to Daleville, which is our last Alabama episode, which was Wear My Murder Necklace, which was a disgustingly weird, crazy episode. Alabama never disappoints in terms of weird.
Was that with the dad and the daughter, that one?
Yeah, that shit was... Oh, man. Listen to that episode if you want to hear a weird one. This is in Jackson County, area code 256. History here, a little bit of history. This community was originally known as Mount Zion when the first post office was established. It was Mount Zion, Alabama. There was a bunch of little communities like Kirby's Creek and Gossett's Hollow and Fern Cliff, which all sound like places to battle the devil in a banjo competition. Like, that all sounds like...
It doesn't sound good at all.
No, those don't sound...
All of those sound like after the Lord of the Rings, and then that.
I feel like you can't get a pizza delivered to your house in any of those places. That's
Gulch and hollow?
hollows and creeks and cliffs. That's where I draw what civilization is and isn't. Can I have a pizza delivered to my house? Okay, then we're fine. We are in business. That's fine. If it's, pizza around, then I can't live here. I'm sorry. That's where it's too rural for me. I need to be able to get pizza on a whim now.
Yeah, I guess that's really it, because the next level up is like Chinese and groceries, right?
Yeah, you need groceries and that sort of thing. But you figure, I'll make a trip. I'll go once a week. But if if it's 8:30 and I'm hungry and I haven't eaten and I want a pizza, I need that thing delivered to me. Now I'm way too stoned to go pick it up, so it's not happening.
It feels like Amazon Prime even takes a week.
That's what I mean. That frightens me when it's like, Prime is about 8-9 days up here, business days, that is. So it's a
fast.
while. It's a while, but
and they consider that quick.
Better than it used to be. So people started coming here in 1862 in large numbers, which is the beginning of the Civil War. Not in the beginning, the middle of the Civil War. Right. So I don't know if that was people coming away fleeing the
fight. Yeah.
This seems like fleeing the maybe fleeing the battles. You know what I mean? Okay. Because there's not going to be any fucking battles up in these hills. I'll tell you that much right now. Like no one's bringing their armies here. So and fighting here. Right. So settlers were required to live on the land for 5 years before the property was considered legally owned by them. Claimed, yeah. So you had to live on it there.
Basically, you had to squat?
You had to live there before it was yours. That's how it was. They split it up with you squat on your land for 5 years and then it's yours. Mm-hmm. It later became known as section because it was the location of a square mile parcel of land known as the 16th section.
Oh, my God.
So that's why it was here. It's literally just a parceled out big square block. And required by the federal government to be set aside in support of public schools. So it was just it was like a broken up in terms of funding for education. And they just were like, Section 16, that has a nice ring to it, don't it? Right? Don't you agree? How about, never mind, Gossett's Hollow. Section sounds wonderful. We'll just cut off the 16.
It makes it very cold and like you're just a number and you don't matter when it's that.
It's a post-apocalyptic thing. That's what it is. Like, you went into Section 16? Oh, my God, I heard that's all zombies and irradiated weirdo people that eat your brains there. Section 16. You could be, if there was a horror movie called Section 16, you'd be like, oh, shit, what's up with
sense,
that? Yeah, you're like, wow, that sounds terrifying.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, there's like the military's involved in some way. There's a disease or an apocalypse or a nuclear a plague or something.
They're forced to be there because of the way they are.
Yeah, Section 16 is all bad things have been pushed into it, and one group of plucky teenagers needs to fight their way out.
They have to brave it.
Yeah. So in 1886, Bort Harrison, a guy named Bort, ran a 6-horsepower water-powered flour and grist mill and also built the first store in the community, which was in 1889. Okay. So people were there for almost 30 years before they said, hey, we should have stores and stuff. It took almost 30 years for someone to decide that commerce was something that maybe someone would want to take part in.
It took 6 years to build a 30-horsepower motor to
Holy
run some
shit
around here.
That's wild. Reviews of this town, not too much here in terms of reviews. Here's one. This is from the county. It's not even for the town. Jackson County is a great place to live and raise a family. Okay. It's made up of several small towns. This is 5 stars, by the way. Perfect. And filled with beautiful parks and countryside. It is also home to the famous unclaimed baggage.
What?
Okay.
What is that?
Unclaimed baggage, and we'll talk about this in Things to Do because it's one of them, is a, quote, huge venue selling unclaimed airline luggage, including clothes, jewelry, bags, and electronics. It's in Scottsboro, Alabama. So it's pilfered shit. It's Massive tribute to the ineptitude of an airline to get somebody their goddamn luggage back. And now you're going to buy this person's sorrow.
We are selling the lost and found.
Yeah. Want to buy it? Not really. So
Holy shit.
people in this area, and Section is made up of several small little tiny areas, by the way, little tiny ones. And it's in all of them, in the whole town of Section, only 743 people. So it is, about average in terms of male-female. Median age is 39.6, which is like 2 years higher than the national average. There is literally 0% people 85 and over. So,
you don't live that long.
You ain't living up there in the hills. That ain't happening. No, something will happen. A hunting accident. You fall down a gulch. There's got to be...
Life expectancy 72.
You eat lard with every meal, things of that nature. Yeah, that'll catch up to you after a while.
It's guys up there. The secret to their long age, their long life of 71, is lots and lots of bacon.
Yep, lardo and bacon. Yeah. So, but 5 to 9-year-olds, kids are almost double the national average in that. So their people are fucking like crazy here. Which is interesting. 53% of the people here are married, which is a little above the national average. 20% are single with children. So party time in old Section here. Race of this town, 97.8% white, 0.7% black. I feel bad for those. That sounds like, I don't know. Listen, this is just going off historical things.
Looking in.
Outsider looking in, and I'm a northerner and all that, so I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it would seem like a rural mountain town full of, and I'm only saying this because I know the story, full of actual hillbillies, like serious hillbillies, probably wouldn't be the most welcoming to the 0.7% of the black people that are here. I'm just saying. They're probably not
a tough light for a lot of those.
Not a lot of beeping and waving. They're using their hands and beeping, but for other things. There's not a lot of waving going on or anything like that, probably.
It's probably a safe assumption.
It's just saying 1.3% Hispanic. Religion in this town, 54% are religious, and a whopping 36% of the people are Baptist. So that's no shock, because as we know, Baptists are the Catholics of the South. That's everywhere. 0.0% Jewish, which is not surprising for a rural northeastern Alabama mountain town. In the last election, Jackson County, it's a pretty rural county as we know here. 15.7% of the people voted Democratic, 83.2% Republican, 1.1% Independent. So there's a consensus in this area.
Jackson County. I wonder who they're named after.
Yeah, I wonder. That's a surprise, probably. I would assume it's our old guy there. So there's low unemployment here, but the median household income is $31,458, which is a lot less than the national average.
I'm shocked it's that high.
I know. I was too, actually, because where it is pretty rural.
How do you make $40,000 a year up there?
I don't know. And the cost of living, 100 is average. Here it's pretty low. It's 77. But the home cost is the lowest of all the costs of living. Median home cost here, $119,200. So
it's not bad. That's
pretty low. Yeah, it's pretty low. I don't know where there is to work, but we'll find out. And if we've convinced you that, you know what, you're tired of getting pizza delivered to you, we have for you the Section Alabama Real Estate Report. The average 2-bedroom rental here goes for $705 a month, which is way lower than the national average. First house, you can't really find a lot of cheap houses. There's like a lot of like cheap lots of land that you can get for nothing. But house-wise, there's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,704 square foot house, good size house on 3.4 acres. So decent amount of land. This is clearly grandma died finally. after a long life. She 84, because we know she doesn't make it to 85. She died at 84, and the family has finally got to sell her house and split the proceeds. They've been drooling over it for years. People have been like measuring their decks to get it redone. Once grandma dies and we sell her house, we're going to do all this now. That's what it looks like. It hasn't been touched in 40 years. $209,000 for that, though.
Okay.
That's a big house on a lot of land.
Sure
and Good Bones just needs to be some cosmetic shit. Here's one. It says it's 5,640 square feet, but it's all a bunch of cabins. It says 10 units. They're 10 one-bedroom cabins. So
10 500 square feet places?
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of trailers in the picture too, but I don't know if the trailers are considered cabins.
Are they included in the square footage?
Or if they're the neighbors right there. If you have like a trailer park next to you. I'm not sure what's going on with these whole. It says it's an investment opportunity, so I assume there's 20 parking spaces. There's that. $225,000 for that. That seems like a liability you're buying for that much money, but $225,000.
I don't know. It seems like low cost to risk, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot, but I don't know. I guess you could rent those. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,920 square foot house. It's very nice. It's on 1.74 acres.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like there was a show on HGTV called Let's Build That Cabin. And they made it, and it's like, yeah, I just still want the kitchen to be chic, though, even though it's a cabin. Like, it's one of those places. It was built in 2016.
I want all the ease of cooking.
Yes.
In the woods.
You can't get pizza delivered here, so I got to cook. So it's one of those type of. It looks like it's made on HGTV. It is $574,900.
Oh my God!
Out of your fucking mind! It's not even.
There's no way you're
feet.
getting that back out.
Hell no! Yeah, somebody spent too much money building this. That's what happened.
Overbuilt the neighborhood.
Built way too much for the neighborhood. Things to do here, as you can imagine, teeming with things to do.
Yeah.
In nearby Scottsboro, unclaimed baggage, baby. We'll talk about it. I know everyone was curious about that. That piqued my interest, so. Figure.
They have ads of what's in it?
Well, the nation's only retailer of lost luggage. That's not surprising. I don't think,
You're
wow.
telling me you don't expect there to be a demand for this shit,
This
James?
is wild. We're the only ones who sell it. Crazy, right? You never know what you'll find. Airline passengers waiting for their bags upon arrival are almost certain to see them riding atop the bag carousel. That's because airlines use sophisticated tracking technology to reunite over 99.5% of bags with their owners right away. If a bag is truly lost, airlines pay out a claim to the passenger. It's only after an extensive 3-month search that an unclaimed bag is deemed truly orphaned, a fate realized by less than 0.03% of bags. That's where we come in.
Yeah.
It literally says
resale dildos.
we find the garbage that's really just in the corners, what the wind blows into the corners. You know, that kind of garbage. That's what we find. We scoop it up, wipe it off, and sell it to you.
You're telling me that 0.3% of bags lose their fucking tag? You know what I mean? That tag is so taped to your bag.
I know.
There's no way they can't fucking find that bag and get it back to you.
It's fucking gone. They say Unclaimed Baggage has purchasing agreements for unclaimed items with all domestic airlines and other travel and transportation companies. You could get train luggage. It's exciting, Jimmy. Maybe
Who
you'll
knows? This shit may come off an Amtrak.
Yeah, you might want to get one of those old-timey trunks. Who knows? Maybe someone from the 40s will be traveling. We don't know. With 5 decades of experience processing large volumes of one-of-a-kind items, we maximize each item's potential for a second life. So it's a thrift store for people's lost luggage. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
is it just luggage or is it the shit inside too?
It's
gotta
the
be
shit inside. That's what it is.
It's everything, right?
It's jewelry, clothes. It's whatever the fuck they find
It's
in
dildos.
there. It's it's a lot of dildos. This one's got a couple of chips in it. Looks like maybe a dog chewed on it a little bit, but it's still pretty good.
This one's microwavable.
It's not bad. Also, the annual Catfish Festival.
Okay.
Which sounds like it's a festival to fool people into thinking they have a boyfriend or girlfriend. But it's not, actually.
This is Grand Marshal Manti Teo.
Yeah, there we go. He's like, let me tell you about being catfished. Wow. So it says car, truck, motorcycle, antique tractor show.
Yeah.
That's the Catfish Festival. car, truck, motorcycle, antique tractor show is the Catfish Festival.
That is catfishing me. I thought this would be about fishing.
That's a strange thing. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But there's fishing, though. Free fishing for kids 1 to 7 years old. If you charge a 1-year-old to fish, yeah, that'd be a little.
You're an asshole.
How long? If you take a 1-year-old to fish, let's say you're there an hour. How much out of that hour is that 1-year-old holding the pole? 3 seconds when you go, here, hold it, and they go, and throw it down and go run over there. 1-year-olds
A
don't
1-year-old can't hold a pole.
No, they can't. They absolutely can't. 1 to
There's no
7.
fucking way a 1-year-old is fishing.
And probably shouldn't be messing with hooks either at 1, I would say. No. Put that worm on there, son. What are you, pussy? Come on, boy. Get it on there. Jesus Christ.
You don't eat, you don't catch nothing.
You don't eat. Then the 8 to 12-year-olds come after that, and they fish as well. Limit of 3 fish per child, though. Can't catch any more than that.
Is it all catfish? Do they catch anything? Catfish is disgusting.
Yeah, it can be good if you cook it. It's good in if you in a nice
like niblets.
Yeah, like the little chunks, and they cornmeal on them, and it's the southern preparation. It's pretty good, or Midwestern. I think that is actually with the cornmeal. I'm not sure. Southern people don't yell at me. Fucking,
I hate it all anyway.
I love any fish, so I love it. It's good.
Catfish is the only one I refuse to eat because I've seen them live.
Oh, they're dirty.
Gross.
Yeah, they're dirty.
God, they're filthy.
Cut it into nuggets, eat it up, Jimmy. Jesus Christ.
God, I can't do it.
You've eaten worse than that. I've watched you. I've watched you eat chicken from a gas station that was clearly not even good anymore. So you can't be judging anybody's food choices.
On sight, it was obvious it was inedible.
I wouldn't eat that. You're like, ooh, chicken. And you went and bought it. So there's a free kids area here with mechanical bull riding, inflatable toys, and face painting. 1-year-olds give you a fishing pole. Come on here, sonny 8-year-old. Hop up on this mechanical bull. I'm sure no one will get hurt there.
Mechanical bulls are
shit.
hilarious because there's a man behind a table with like joysticks controlling that thing.
Yeah, like let's
with
fuck
a
with this
smile
child
on his face as he tries to sling you off.
You or your child, your small child. There's also a pet parade and costume contest. So there's that. There's also that's what there is there, and also the Shriners catfish plates.
Okay,
I don't know what goes on there.
I don't like that.
Shriners give you catfish, and also there's a rock zoo. So go to the rock zoo. The rock zoo. You want to know what the rock zoo is?
Please tell me.
It's fucking rocks painted like animals. They'll have a big rock and they paint it like a cow, and you go, there's a rock painted like a cow, and another rock is painted like a little raccoon or something. So it's
look, Ma, a lizard.
That's and it
No,
looks
it's
like
a rock.
It looks like children painted animals on rocks.
Yeah,
That's what it looks
it's
like.
not good.
That's not an attraction. I'm sorry. Get it together.
Does not a zoo make?
No pizza. Terrible zoo. I'm out. I'm gone. Crime rate in this town. A rock zoo. So I'm like, let that sink in for a minute. Rock zoo.
That's how bored it is here.
We just paint the rocks. You charge people to get in? Oh yeah, no, it ain't free. It ain't free. Paint ain't free, It's and it says it's definitely like nothing you've ever seen. Yeah, because no one. We sell old luggage and paint rocks like animals. This place it's unique, is what it is.
Yeah. There's a little roll machine. You can get some rock food, and you can do a petting zoo and feed the rocks.
Oh, it's wonderful. You just do that. You got to use your imagination a little. Don't get me wrong, but I think you're gonna like it.
Quarter in there for some bird seed.
Yeah, why not? Crime rate in this town. Property crime is low. Crime rate's low. There's nobody here. So,
really?
And everything is like your house is set back in a tree line with like a gate in front of it that says I'll shoot you in the face if you come on my property. So yeah, there's not a lot of crime. People come out heavily armed to go to the store a little while away and then back, and they look at each other suspiciously. It's not who's going to do anything. It's like a big standoff. The whole town. Property crime is about 1/3 of the national average here. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is about 1/4 of the national average. So very, very, very low. That said, let's talk about some murder, shall we?
Where it wasn't safe?
It was not safe at all here.
Okay.
Now, this is going to take place in Sand Mountain.
S-A-N?
S-A-N-D, Sand Mountain. Sand Mountain. And this is from a newspaper article, a local newspaper article, like an Alabama paper. This isn't the New York Times or anything. It says, quote, this is to describe it, where yard signs warn trespassers to stay out and drooping wire on roadsides keep goats and cows in. It's part of a region steeped in grisly violence and snake-handling churches, a fiercely provincial pocket of Appalachia that can intimidate even hardened investigators.
They have snakes in the church?
You don't know about
That's
snake handling? You never heard of that?
No.
Yeah, it's part. Yeah, there's a lot of denominations down there.
Yeah.
There's Pentecostals that do it. It's snake handling is to show the faith that the snake won't bite me because God's not going to have him bite me. But all of these guys eventually die of snake bites. That's the fucking hilarious part. Every 5 years or so, some crazy pastor who is saying shit that me and you absolutely don't agree with at all publicly for a long time, they'll say, they died of a snake bite today. And you go, good, you fucking idiot. You're holding a snake out, looking it in the face, a fully poisonous snake going, the Lord will keep you from biting me. Shut the fuck up. It's a snake, you stupid idiot.
And that guy has electrified wire fence for his goats and sheep.
Yeah, that guy. This is a place where people in Alabama go, oh, don't go up there in them hills. Them people are fucking hillbillies up there. Like, this is like in West Virginia where the whites come from the hills asking, you also got mozzarella cheese sticks at Taco Bell, and people are like, oh, Jesus, it's the whites.
The guy's kissing a snake.
Yeah, I can't believe you've never seen that.
No.
Oh, it's a big thing. Every time one of them dies, they make a big deal out of it because duh. Because duh. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
Yeah, it's like when Grizzly Man died in the documentary, and you went, oh, well, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
You idiot.
The odds of that are you fuck with grizzly bears for a long time. At some point, one of them's just going to go, nah, and then you're dead, just with their big paw and claw.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like you anymore.
It's me and 300 grizzly bears, and that's it here. One of them's going to go, there's food right there.
Hey,
Why are we getting after all this fish? There's one right there.
It's so cold in the water when we catch those salmon. You know what I mean? And really, we kind of got
wet all day.
We got to wait for them. My fur takes forever to dry. Look at it; it's so thick. It's like a 70s shag over here. So let's just eat him for now. Okay,
it's easier, right?
That's the same thing with snakes. Yeah. If 4 or 5 nights a week you take out fucking snakes and hold them up and scream, "Oh, the Lord Jesus!" Right. While you have a fucking shaking it, and it's 2 inches from your face, eventually it's going to bite you and kill you, and I'm going to laugh at you for that because that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
If you hold it in a way that it can't strike and then get it close enough to fucking skin,
your fault.
It's going to fight back.
You're bad. And that goes with anybody that does stupid shit like that. There's a group of motorcycle people that drive by my house back and forth up on this road, and it's a bunch of like young dudes on motorcycles. They have fucking crotch rockets, and like there's a couple guys on like souped up dirt bikes and shit like that. And they ride by. Half of them are riding like a crazy wheelie.
Oh, my God.
Like half of them are doing it as they go down the street. And I stand outside and I go, fall, fall, fall. I fall. And then have all your friends run you over, you dumb motherfucker. Because you know what? No, because then you're going to fuck up traffic. Everyone's going to be late going home or late going to fucking work because you had to be an asshole and show off for who? Go in the woods and do that. Don't do it on the road where you're going to waste other people's goddamn time. The hell is wrong with you?
The thing about a wheelie is that you can't steer that.
No, it's insane.
Taking the steer wheel off the ground.
And it's like a hill and a curve. It's like, what are you people doing? What's wrong with you? And there's sand on the road because it's, like salt from...
It's winter, for Christ's sake.
They just went by over the weekend. And I was like, what are you doing?
That's insane.
Oh, we cross our fingers and wait for sirens every time they go by. Sarah too, both of us. We're like, fuck those people. We've had it. We root for, and we're not people. I'm a nice person. I help people. I don't root for people.
In the fucking neighborhood, man.
Stop doing that, you arrogant little assholes. I'm tired of it. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
There's no reason for it on the road. So anyway, that's where we are. So let's introduce us to a man here, okay? Yeah. This is a mountain man. This is a man that the whites in West Virginia would say, that fucking hillbilly. Like, this is a guy that they would...
Is he a snake fuck arounder?
He doesn't personally handle snakes, but his father is... I don't know if his father's a snake handler, but he's a preacher in this area, so I assume...
Probably.
He at least has a couple snakes just in case he needs to whip them out. You know what I mean? You never know. When things get crazy, you got to whip that snake out and get people in line. So we're going to talk about Barry Van Witten. Van is his middle name. It's not Van Witten.
Really?
It's Barry Van Witten. And I go use the H. Witten. It's Whitton. Witten. So didn't we have a Van last week? A guy named Van, his first name?
I mean, that was the name of the guy that helped, what's his ass, kill his girlfriend's baby?
Yeah, that's weird.
Kill his girlfriend, not the baby.
Two guys named Van. That's strange.
It's a fascinating name, too.
So Barry Witten, he's born in 1969, old Barry here. Local residents, and this is people from the hills up here, describe him as a quiet man who always wears dark overalls, a dark hat, and has a long beard, and, quote, keeps to himself mostly.
That's a scary man.
Picturing it, guys? Everybody?
He is frightening.
Yes. His pictures of him, he has the checkered shirt with overalls. He's got a not a suede,
hat?
not a snow, like a hat, like he's like
nice Stetson.
No. It's a hat like he's like he's hanging out with Robin Hood, like a hat like that kind. It's a hard to describe hat, almost like a pork pie-ish hat, but not really because it's like floppy and suede-ish looking.
What?
I don't know what it is. It looks like he's from the hills of Bavaria or something with this hat. It's a very weird hat.
It looks like a bicycle seat.
It's hard to explain. The picture will be up on social media. You can see his weird hat. It's a weird hat. It's not a hat that you would normally think, like, if I'm going to wear a hat, it's not in your realm of choices. What about that hat? It's not.
Is
that.
It like the newsboy one that clips to the bill?
No. It's not like a Kangol. I guess it's like a fedora type hat, but like a floppy it looks like suede corduroy almost.
What
like it's
the fuck?
I don't know what he's wearing, but it's like flopped in, so he almost looks like he should be wearing lederhosen with it. It looks like almost like a Bavarian Hills hat.
Awesome.
I don't know what is going on with his head, but
Fascinating choice of a hat.
this is why you got to come to live shows. You can see the hat right away. We can make fun of it rather than try to decipher what the hell it is. So he wears a big giant beard, though, too, and not an Austin, Texas beard like you. It's a fucking...
No.
He's a hillbilly beard.
It's
just
a wiry, ugly one.
It's a big, thick beard, but I mean, it's for a reason because he's like a.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
It's not to be a.
Yeah.
You're not. They're not like. He's not Mountain Man cosplaying like you are. He's just. He's actually. You have like some sort of weird redneck cosplay thing going on while you live in a city of 5 million people. It's the weirdest
I don't know
thing.
how it happened. It just,
You do. You let it grow.
Real big.
You let it grow, and you like that people comment on it because it's a conversation piece.
No, it stopped.
And you like to talk
I
to
haven't had
people.
an ingrown hair in a year. And
That's
it's
wonderful.
Fantastic.
I think you just like to talk to people, and it's a good way to start conversations. That's what I mean.
It's really out of
But
control now.
that's your version of going out with like a big lizard.
That's my eye, y'all.
No, like some people, they'll go out like a big lizard or like a snake or a parrot or something. That's your version of it. It's like, look at my beard.
My exotic pet.
Yes, that's what it is.
It's my island pet.
Yeah. But this guy just does it because he's like, I don't buy no razors. It's just all the mirrors in my house done broke. He just doesn't care.
I got beyond the ingrown part, and it's so great.
That's great. Yeah, that's terrific. Ingrown hairs.
I just
are
look
the worst.
like an asshole.
Not an asshole.
It's bad.
Not an asshole.
It does not look good.
Just everybody else. That would drive me nuts. That would drive me crazy because it's like having a It's just a weird feature that it's like, oh, a beard. It's the whole thing where everybody sees a bald guy with glasses and a beard, and they're like, it's Jimmie Whisman, and it's like, God damn it! It's almost like if people wear like a Shriner's hat when they shot Paul Castellano to make everybody look similar, and you can't really tell them apart.
Yeah,
10 bald guys with beards.
We're all the same guy.
Yeah, people just go, I don't know. I saw head and I saw shiny here and hairy here. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd probably get away with a murder before you would.
That's what I mean. You're blending right in. It's good for you. This is good. It makes you really under the radar.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's a bad group to blend in with.
But that was an advantage that I was giving you there anyway. That's one of the advantages.
It's not good though.
No.
I look like an asshole. I hate it. I wish it would just like stop growing at some point, and it will not.
It was fine till that hunk of ricotta cheese was hanging out of it at my house when he ate that lasagna pizza, and I was like, Jimmie, that is not okay, man. It was like a tablespoon of ricotta cheese was like off to the side of his mouth, and I was like, oh my God, that is terrifying.
You don't want to see me eat wings, Jay.
Oh God, scary.
It's not good.
Oh my God. So this is what he does, keeps to himself and looks like a mountain person. So a woman named Brenda Hargis, she's a clerk at the old grocery store that's several miles down the road, obviously.
Yeah.
And she said of Witten, quote, he had a sawmill on his property, and I think he would rather live off the land.
Oh boy.
So that's what he's doing. He's like homesteading all the time here. He's the son of a fire and brimstone preacher, but I'm not sure if there is any snakes involved or not.
Probably.
I'm just going to
those two
assume
words together lean real hard to the possibility, right?
Yeah, you're picturing him. You're picturing the hat. Throw a snake in there. Why not? You know,
what's the matter?
Who cares? Why not?
Who's it hurting?
Yeah, who's it hurting right now? Come on. He'll end up having a 40-acre homestead on the mountain. That's about a mile down the road from his daddy, who's the fire and brimstone preacher there. So they describe it as a rugged plateau, this area.
Okay.
It's the hills. And the neighbors are, this is from the newspaper, are reluctant to talk about Barry Witten.
For fear of reprisal, or like we don't know him?
They're scared of him. Everybody's scared of everybody up here. All these people are dangerous people. Not all of them, but a lot of people are kind of dangerous. They say his house, too, his homestead is obscured by a shitload like bushes and trees, and it's behind a winding driveway that's all sandy. So I guess that's why it's Sand Mountain, because there's sand up there.
There's sand in there.
So it's, it's back there. It's in the woods there. So he does operate a small sawmill on his property later on here. A retired teacher in town who's a longtime acquaintance of his family said, quote, "He acts like someone without a heart."
Huh.
So he is just
Is that a nice way of saying he's fucking horrifying looking and behind the scenes?
all of the above. Yeah. I think this is like, he's like a movie hillbilly, like a movie, like a Deliverance hillbilly, like a villain. A villainous hillbilly, like,
Your life is in peril around me.
Yeah, you go down to like settle your dead grandma's estate, and you get down there, and like the Klan starts running you off the road and stuff. Like that's the kind of guy he is. It seems like he'd be right in the middle of that or something, or like standing in front of a school telling kids not to come in. Right. So another woman here said, quote, "A lot of people are afraid of him."
Okay.
Yeah. In 1988 and in 1991, he is convicted of felonies in both times here. He is receiving stolen property both times.
Okay. Oh, both times.
Both times. Now, rural areas, and I know this because if you go outside of where I live and go up north and stuff, there's a lot of rural areas, and there's a lot of places where you can have things disappear.
Right.
People with land, that's their second business, is disappearing things for people. Yeah. There's people who have giant farms that have cars buried in it from the last 40 years because it's a known thing that you go somewhere and you give somebody $500 and they'll bury your car for you and, claim the insurance. So that's the type of thing I believe he was doing. He was doing shit like that, disappearing things for people, and then making a living without a job. He's trying to homestead and live off the land, and on top of that, so you're trying to, supplement your income. So later in 1991, when he gets out of jail for receiving stolen property, he gets married later that year.
Yeah.
Because he seems like that's an eligible bachelor right there.
Listen,
I mean,
he's enterprising.
I guess so. He gets married to a woman named Michelle Townsend Whitten. Well, that's her name now. Michelle Townsend is her name, and then she becomes Michelle Townsend Whitten. She's born in the same year as him. They started dating about a year ago in 1990, but they've known each other since they were little kids. They rode the same school bus. So, they've known each other forever. And this is the type of area where you basically marry the people you've known your whole life, or else you don't know who the fuck else is around. You're on a hilltop with 700 people. There's not a lot of options here.
You better get to picking.
Yeah. It's like living on an island.
Soon.
Yeah. And especially, they get together in the 90s. This is pre-internet. So, it's not like he's got an app where he can be like, oh, she lives 30 miles away, but shit, she worth it. None of that even. You can, it's just you have to meet somebody. So January 20th, 1996, about 5 years later, they have a son together as well.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that. January 20th. Remember the date, by the way, 1996. They have a son named Ethan there, and they end up living in the community of Dutton, which is near here. This is before he has his acreage and his homestead and all that. Michelle, it's hard to get a lot. Michelle seems like she's a homemaker. There's doesn't work outside the house, it doesn't seem like. And it's hard to get a lot on her other than she's married to Barry and raises Ethan. She's just kind of like doesn't really have a lot of, people say she's very bubbly and has a very upbeat personality. She's not down at all. Her friend said that her favorite song in the world in the mid-90s here is Mariah Carey's Vision of Love. It's her favorite. I don't even know which one that is. Vision of Love? Which one is that?
That's a real deep cut of Mariah Carey's. That's not really even a...
Is that a hit?
That's not a very popular one, is it?
I have no idea. I'm not up on I don't have all of the Mariah Carey catalog in front of me.
Yeah, I don't have it memorized.
And in like 95, 96, I was a teenager. I would have been ignoring Mariah Carey's music hardcore, like really hard, except for the one song with Old Dirty Bastard in it. And I would have been like, well, Old Dirty's part's okay, I suppose.
Vision of Love I believe that one's not I think that's like a B-side. That's not a popular one.
I have no idea. I'm sure we'll be told, but I don't know.
It's Michelle's favorite one, so she's dug.
She had a cassette single of it, so they made a single of it.
They made a single.
So
of
it had to
one?
be a hit.
Huge, yeah,
or at least one of her singles. Her friend said she would play it over and over and over again, and she sang along. So there you go. It was actually
there's only one song on the goddamn tape.
Here's my tape. It has a B-side. Well, she didn't like that song apparently. Over and over. Rewind. She said it was actually the last thing we laughed about together. The last time I saw her was a few weeks before she disappeared at a funeral that we rode to together.
What?
By the way, so many funerals going on in a town of 700 people. There's everybody's stories about everything. There's a funeral involved. I was either on my way home from a funeral or on my way to a funeral all the time.
That funeral parlor is a revolving door.
That's the business in this town is that, because no one lives to 85. So
I would certainly be questioning whoever runs the funeral parlor.
Right? Just goes over, poisons old people.
Who benefits from their death? That guy every time.
All these old people's water supplies not doing good. The wells are poisoned. I don't know what it is. Must be a phenomenon. So Michelle disappears in 1997, December of 1997, a couple weeks before Christmas. She just disappears. Gone. Poof.
She's a 1-year-old.
She has a 5-year-old at this point. 6-year-old. 97, a 6-year-old, or 5-year-old. He was born in 92. So
okay. All right.
Got a 5-year-old named Ethan.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the Ethan is at home. So, I mean, she's gone. Ethan's not gone. Barry says that she went to Hardee's to go get breakfast, fast food joint.
It's a tough breakfast.
That's why no one lives to 85 if you're going to Hardee's to get breakfast.
That's a tough breakfast.
That's a tough breakfast.
Jesus Christ.
There's some biscuits involved in that. That's a heavy one.
Gravy on everything.
That's a breakfast that you go take another nap after you wake. You wake up, you eat that breakfast, and then you just have to go lay in bed under the covers for a little while.
In bed till 10.
And then okay, wow, that was
a lot.
That was a lot, man. It's a snuggly breakfast, let's call it. It's a good snuggly breakfast. I'll give you them old
crazy dreams.
Yeah, I'll give you the crazies. So he claimed, she went out to buy breakfast at Hardee's, was supposed to come back, and he's like, I still ain't got my hash browns. This is ridiculous.
Still waiting.
If you find her, bring back my hash browns, will you? Just grab them from her and bring them to me, because I'm hungry. Tell you what. She was in her car, which is a 1990 Toyota Camry. She was dressed in a pink sweatshirt and pink pants and sandals is what she's wearing. Okay. He said she never came back. Don't know what it is. December 7th, 1997. Just went to Scottsboro to get some breakfast from the Hardee's there and just never came home. Don't know.
That was the day she was heading to a funeral that day?
No. Her and her friend, the last time they sang Vision of Love together was on the way to a funeral a couple weeks before this.
And we laughed.
We laughed. We were laughing about the song.
On our way to a funeral.
On the way to the funeral. Which, you know what? We're laughing at a murder story. So sometimes this is what.
Fun.
Yeah, she's a dark humor. Because every funeral I've ever been to, what are you going to sit there sullen? You got to laugh. You got to make
it's horrible.
Yeah, you make fun of the corpse. That's what you do. You roast the corpse, right? I thought that's what funerals are. Is that just Italian people?
That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. Italians, we roast the corpse unless it's your grandma, unless it's like the matriarch, and then you're not allowed to say anything bad at all, or people will murder you. That's how it works.
Or you'll be next.
You'll be stabbed in the face by the people after they get out of the casket from jumping in it to go, no! Which happens also. So the police come. The police are called, and they find a note that Witten here, that Barry had left for Michelle that day, saying, quote, "Hi, sweetheart. We got worried you broke down, so we went out looking for you. Love, Barry and Ethan. P.S. We left at 11:03.
Weird.
That is very specific.
We left at 11?
Yeah, it's about 11. Like, no. So, hi, sweetheart, first of all, which is very formal for like but that's fine. Sometimes there's niceties. We got worried you broke down, so we went out looking for you. That's if she comes back before they come back, obviously. Love, Barry and Ethan. Well, I think she knows probably who wrote the goddamn thing. Right. And P.S. we left at 11:03 is just very odd.
That's the weirdest.
that's really weird here. And they said that the one of the investigators who was looking for her said that right away the note, quote, looked a little odd to me.
Yeah.
He said he didn't like the 1103 thing because he said that seems like it looks like somebody trying to start a timeline.
Right.
Trying to establish a timeline of where they were when and, in their own writing, but that can't be established if that's when that was written. So that's like a handwritten time card. You know what I mean? He says he got here at 8. I don't know. He works by himself. Who knows? One of those things. So I guess they took a full report, the police, at 1:15 in the afternoon. So she left early, 11:03. Supposedly, he goes out looking for her. 1:15, the police are at Michelle's parents' house, and Barry is there as well. Mm-hmm. And they said that Barry seemed, quote, calm and indifferent. I mean, she's been missing for she should have been gone about an hour, so she's really been missing about 4 hours. So. Yeah. This is pre-cell phones, you know what I'm saying? So, people did things. Who knows? If she decided to go shopping or go over here, it's, you don't know.
Nothing to get excited about.
Nothing to get excited about. So at that point, I'd be like, I'd love to find her, but I'm not, oh my God, Jesus, find my wife, please. Oh, Jesus, So they said he didn't really appear upset or anything like that. So they took a report and took it to the sheriff's office and then started checking on all the roads up on the mountain to see if maybe she crashed in one of these shitty side roads and these up on a mountain. See if she
she's bleeding out right now.
Yeah, is her car stuck in the woods or something? Mm-hmm. She's unconscious, bashed her head on the steering wheel. So they go looking for her there. Now later on, while on patrol looking for her, the officer who took the initial report saw Barry driving south on County Road 19 in a small white pickup truck. This is before he took the missing persons report, though. So he saw him driving around before, and then at 1:15, he comes and sees the pickup truck is at this house, and so's Barry. So he's asked, this cop said that no one else was in the car with Barry when he saw him driving around, so he didn't take the kid with him, Ethan. He didn't see a car seat in the passenger seat at all, and he said that he did see passing him on the road, he could see into the car and get details, which seems to me a little suspicious. But he said that he saw what looked like a blanket or a sleeping bag in the passenger seat. So I guess you'd see a pile of something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what he saw. And then later on, when he goes to take the report, he goes, oh, this is the guy I saw on the road. So Sheriff Chuck Phillips inserts himself here, of course. Old Sheriff Chuck here. He starts on it right now. He said that he spoke with Barry, and again, Barry said she went to get breakfast. He said, I waited a few hours and then went looking for her. I drove down to Scottsboro and to other places, and then I went back home. He said that he then went to Rainsville, which is where Michelle's mother lives. Went there to tell them he can't find Michelle, to see if maybe she stopped by there. She didn't. They called the cops. And that was that. So that's how that happened.
By all the usual haunts before calling the police.
Yeah, where she said she's going to be. Maybe she just, Hardy's got good to her. Honestly.
Hardy's got bad to her and she had to rush somewhere.
If she had like some biscuits and gravy or something in there, she could have taken a nap in the car. You could get out to the car and go, I'm just gonna curl up for just a minute here. And she could still be sleeping. That's a possibility.
You could pull over and just crawl into that back bench seat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Camry's not very big in 1990, but it's still comfortable.
Still, she can crawl up and, man, when you've had that much biscuit in your belly at fucking 8 a.m., I don't think it matters.
Hardy's gravy, forget it.
Forget about it. So the sheriff said that Barry described what Michelle was wearing at the time she was missing, which is a pink sweatsuit and sandals. So that's all consistent. Now, there's some friends of Michelle here, and there's a woman named Rebecca White. She said that her and her husband, Michelle and Rebecca's husband, were related somehow. Okay. Alabama cousins. I don't know. Whatever. So that just means they've hooked up before. Sorry. That just means they fingered each other when they was 15.
They're cousins, so they kissed, you know.
You know how that goes. So she said that she was one of Michelle's best friends. She said she saw Michelle the week before she went missing, and she went to her house on the Wednesday prior to her being missing as well. She told the police that it seemed like something was wrong, saying that Michelle was normally the kind of person who was always happy, and she just seemed a little downtrodden that day.
A little bit of depression.
Little depression. This woman said, I could just tell something was wrong. She didn't tell me what was wrong, but I could tell.
Okay.
So something's wrong. You know, if you're one of your best friends, if there's something up with them that day, what's up with you? What's going on?
What's going on? What's the matter? Yeah.
What's your fucking problem? Yeah. Yeah. Just staring off into nowhere.
Would you have Hardee's for breakfast? Or
Come on. So after they come to the house to look around to see if maybe they can find any clues, they come to Barry and Michelle's house, and they ask about the carpet in the master bedroom when they take a quick look around. Yeah. And there's just a big square cut out of the carpet in the bedroom.
Well,
which is not normal. It's just not. It's a bad sign. Everybody out there, think about your house. Any rooms that are carpeted, are there any just missing squares of carpet that were just cut out with a utility knife in the last few weeks? Just
got any patches gone?
Just
as a
gone.
cop, if you walk into a room right there, you point to it and go, where is she?
Yeah. Who'd you dismember in here? That's what you say. What's going on? So
we see it, right?
Yeah. So they also find a bit of blood in this area as well.
Oh.
So apparently the carpet cutting didn't go as perfect as somebody had planned. Now, when he was there weren't any. When the first cop was there weren't any holes or throw rugs on the carpet, they say. So, or no, her friend who was there the week before said there was no holes when she was there.
So that was carpet there.
There was carpet and it didn't have a throw rug on it to cover anything or anything like that. So now this Rebecca White said that when Michelle came by her house the Friday before she went missing, she said that Michelle told her that she had, quote, had something really important to tell her.
Oh, boy.
But she said Michelle left because White was sick. She was ill, so she didn't come in and talk to her. But she said, I just came. I have something really important to tell you, but I guess I'll tell you later, and took off.
Never got it out of her.
And never got it out of her. She said that was the last time she saw Michelle.
Oh, no.
She took off, something really important, and then she goes missing. So now Rebecca White also said that after Michelle went missing, she would watch Ethan. She would watch their son while Barry was working. So she was like their babysitter after that, because it was usually Michelle who would watch the kids.
Now it's just Ethan and Barry, right?
Yeah. So this woman told the cops also that she thought that Barry's interaction with his son was what she described as, quote, a little strange, saying that he never mentioned Michelle, and it didn't seem like, quote, it wasn't like he was concerned. So he was just like going on like, well, mom's gone. All right, drop off here. I'll pick you up at 4. See you later. Here we go. Come on, buddy. Like there was no like.
And it's still fresh.
Holy
mom's
shit.
Still missing.
Oh, yeah. She's been missing a week. She's been missing a week and a half. That sort of thing. Just no word of anything. Well, I don't know. Here you go. Thanks for watching the kid.
I don't want to bring it up. It makes him sad. So let's not talk about it.
But not even like, you think he would say something to her of, this is fucked up. Or also there are mountain man might want to keep his emotions to himself. Maybe he doesn't want to talk about it, get upset, look like a pussy, look like a city boy. You have no idea. You don't know. You know what I mean?
But just having any sort of compassion and worry about a specific person, wouldn't you at least ask, have you heard from her?
Well, I would assume that they would bring that up, that'd be first because the cops are looking for her.
But he said nothing.
He said nothing.
He mentioned her at all.
But on this, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on however he's acting. Because, like I said, a lot of people try to act stoic and act like it's fine. You know what I mean? And especially a guy like him seems like he wouldn't want to show any weakness.
Yeah, I've never had my significant other disappear
except
for they usually tell me you're never going to see me again.
Yeah, I know when they're leaving. I know when it's over. Yeah, we get it. It's usually their decision. No.
Yeah.
So they can't find her, and but the carpet being cut out is definitely not normal.
Bad.
That's odd.
Yeah.
So 1 week after she goes missing, a week later, her car is found. They find her car. 1990 Toyota Camry. It had been abandoned at the edge of a wooded area, which isn't good.
No.
Just an abandoned car sitting there. And when they found the car, the detective said that, quote, Barry didn't seem that upset or interested when her car had been found. He was just like, all right. Like real stoic. So they're like, is this guy just the most stoic cat in the world? Mm-hmm. Or because he acts so suspiciously that you're like, if he actually did anything, no one would act this suspiciously. Right? This is just a stoic mountain weirdo.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Or perhaps he's like, where's Michelle? We don't know, but we have found her car. Well, I asked, where's Michelle?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if he's just real simple and just like, well, when I see it type of thing.
Michelle's
I don't know.
Not a Camry, so keep looking.
Yeah, well, that's good. Was she in it? No, well, you should keep looking then, probably.
Seems like you're close. Keep looking, fellas.
Because I'm looking for her mainly.
Right.
That's the main thing I'm looking for, really.
Can't really kiss a Camry nor snuggle it at night. So
I mean, you can. Don't get me wrong.
Suppose.
It's a nice place for a post-Hardy biscuit nap. I'm not going to lie. But other than that, it's just not
warm.
warm.
You got to run the car to snuggle it for any warmth.
Yeah,
if you just snuggle a cold car,
you got to warm it up. I mean, Jesus Christ, you got to get that.
No good.
You get the tech going. So Barry's interviewed by a news camera crew, and there's pictures of him being interviewed, and he wore the hat and the overalls, and it's like, wow, because you present yourself, hi, I'm from the hills, find my wife, please. Like, that's what it looked like.
Does he have a feather in it?
No feather. He's missing the feather. That's what I mean. It's not then I would just say, oh, it's a Robin Hood type of deal. It's not.
I want a Robin Hood on it so bad.
I don't know what it is. It's like it's a very unique situation to him. I can't wait to post it now.
I can't wait to see it.
I know. So at the time her car was found here, Barry tells the local news station, WAFF 48, investigative report here, that, quote, they say there wasn't any sign of foul play in the car, so that gives me hope that she's still alive. Okay. So there's no blood or anything in the car. There's no sign of, there's no broken off gauges or, like the windshield wiper thing isn't broken, windshield kicked out from the inside or something that somebody, foul play. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So he gives the interview here, and he says, they said, did the discovery of the car, did that give you hope or did it hurt? And that's when he said that. They said he remained oddly calm, and his demeanor is dead calm. And they said that it was just 6 weeks go by. They still can't find her. Yeah. So it's a little bit weird. There's posters up. They're dragging rivers. There's a young mother missing. I mean, this is like, where the fuck did she go? So, I mean, dragging rivers, dogs, planes, helicopters, you name it. They're looking for this lady, and they cannot find her. So they did find a bit of blood on the carpet in the master bedroom outside of the area that was cut out. And they said that, now they asked Barry, why was there blood over here? And he said, oh, it's just, that was an accident a while ago. I got blood on it. So
he got it.
He got blood on it. Now, again, people bleed.
Bleed in their place, yeah.
I was hanging out with my cousin last week, and he was showing me this thing, and just stabbed himself in the finger and was bleeding all over the place and dripped a little bit of blood on his floor. And I just said, wow, that, if you die tonight, and I was here, this blood on the floor is going to be a problem for me. You know that, right?
You realize I'm going to have to explain that somehow.
We need a video of you saying,
in my house.
Yeah. If anybody bleeds anywhere around you, get a video of them explaining why they're bleeding. So I'm not even kidding. It could save you 50 years in prison. Just do it. And then kill them afterwards. It'll be perfect. The perfect crime. Oh, man. So they're doing all this shit. They're Barry's saying it was just an accident in there. Now, a couple of friends tell the police that Michelle had confided in them that she wanted to leave Barry, but didn't have anywhere to go. She was like, I'd like to leave him, but where am I going to go? Yeah, I'm stuck here. I'm on this.
Very common, yeah.
Very common, especially in a really like a remote area like this. It's probably even more
9
common.
out of 10 people that want a divorce are like, where am I going to go?
Yeah, but I mean, her mom lives nearby.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that doesn't.
No, but it's better than if it's
obviously better than
if it's an abusive.
Yeah.
But we've heard nothing. By the way, there's no accusations of any spousal abuse here at all. Too, like even her friends say she never said that Barry abused her, hit her, did anything like that. So this isn't like an abusive situation that we know of. Either that or she kept it really quiet and really under wraps, which is also possible. That's an embarrassing thing for some people. Sure, and rather than go for help, they're embarrassed about it, which is understandable, human nature. So the friend said, though, but she had nowhere to go. And there was people, as the weeks go by, people in the community start really questioning whether Barry's involved in this or not. So on the news broadcast, they ask him straight out, do you have anything to do with your wife's disappearance? Yeah. He said, no, sir.
Nothing.
Does it hurt you that some of the family's even thinking about that? He says, yes.
Okay.
His answers are not long. This guy is not a conversationalist.
You got to ask him open-ended questions.
Open-ended. If you give him a yes or no option, he's taking it.
He's hitting the yes or no.
This reporter really is probably, then again, in the middle of nowhere out here, I don't know, this is probably a place like your first reporting job. So,
right. Yeah.
You got to ask open-ended questions, and this isn't it.
Sure, yeah.
Yes or no. Then he says an open-ended question because he knows he's not getting anything from this person. So they say, what's going through your mind?
Oh, here we go. Maybe that was actually like somebody writing down, yes, what is going through his mind? And then he answered it.
His deal. So he says, quote, anything and everything. And then he says, I just don't know what to think. And that's all. He's done talking. That's what's going through his mind.
I have more questions.
Anything and everything, I just don't know what to think. That's no answer is what I just gave you.
Nothing, yeah.
Which is a dumb thing to say. What's going through your mind? I'm fucking scared for my wife. I'm worried about her. My son, we have a 5-year-old here. His mother's missing. This is horrible. There's a lot of answers to what's going on through your mind at this point. Not anything and everything. I don't know what to think. That's a weird answer.
Would fucking infuriate me.
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind? Look at me.
What?
I'm a single dad. I don't know how to do this shit.
That's what I mean. What do you think I'm thinking? I'm terrified. Jesus Christ. My fucking wife's missing. I got a kid here. I'm going to have to tell him his mom's not coming home. What am I supposed to do? And I don't even know anything. That's the problem. He just says, I don't know what to think. So another friend, this is a friend of Barry's now, Billy Barrentine. Billy Barrentine, a friend of Barry's. He said that he and Barry were close friends during this period. And it's from their mutual interest in farming is how they became friends, he said.
Yeah.
Which that'll get you, when you have things in common, that's going to help.
And especially when it's that. It's such a thing that
specific.
is done in solitude. There's a lot of time to yourself. You want, if somebody else does, you're like, you're alone all the time too?
You too? Shit, right? Isn't it great?
Isn't it awful?
Ain't it the best? Nobody bothering you. I do wish I could get a pizza delivered. I'd like to see a pizza delivery person is the only person I really want to see. But damn it, be goddamned if I can't get
Just
one.
alone with your thoughts. Do you hate yourself all day? Me too.
Me too. High five. All right. You ever want to just kill your wife and cut up a chunk of carpet in her bedroom? Yeah?
Me too.
Shit. All right. High five. So they said, Billy, he said that he met Michelle when he went over to Barry and Michelle's home, and he said he went over frequently to visit. They were good friends. He said that all three of them went on a trip a couple months before Michelle went missing. Yeah, they went on a third wheel trip there.
Yeah.
And they when he's asked by the police, did he see any tension or friction between the couple? And he said, and all the time when he was around them, he never saw any issues between them. They were always, they always got along. Nobody had like just a random black eye out of nowhere or anything like that. It seemed like they had a good relationship. They said, did you ever see Michelle look sad or upset? And he said he never did at all. Now, other people who weren't Barry's friends, they said they had seen her visibly upset on multiple instances before her disappearance, saying she was going to leave her husband and shit like that. So she just wasn't happy, obviously. Wasn't happy in her marriage, which, that happens. So Billy, the friend, said that when Michelle was reported missing, he talked to Barry, and Barry was visibly shaken and appeared to be upset and concerned about it. So he was upset and concerned only to his one friend. Otherwise, he was very stoic, which is kind of in character for Barry.
Sure. And
he trusts his friend.
And in front of Billy, it seems like he does everything right.
And Billy has
whether he's in a relationship in front of him or post missing wife, he's doing the right behaviors.
And later on, they asked Billy, like, well, what would change your mind to think that Barry had something to do with all this? And if you did find out, then what would you think? He goes, wouldn't change my opinion of him none. So it's like, that's my friend, so I don't care, whatever. So they need to check out the car and the physical evidence around the car, because this is all they have is the car. So they found a wallet on the ground near the car.
Not good.
Not great, okay, a wallet. This wallet, through tracing of, doesn't take much to trace through a driver's license that's inside of it. Pretty easy to figure it out.
Yeah.
It belongs to, drum roll,
Billy.
Shane Byram.
Who?
Shane Byram is the guy's name.
Fuck is Shane?
Where the fuck did Shane come from now? Byrun or M. Shane Byram. So Byram, they talked to, obviously they want to have a chit chat with him after they find his wallet next to a missing woman's car.
But he lives in Boise, Idaho, and they just bought his wallet at the unclaimed baggage.
The unclaimed baggage, yeah. That's probably what happened. No, he lives around that area, but he said, I'm always losing things. I lost my wallet. And his father and his wife also told the police, he just constantly losing shit, Shane. Shane can't hold on to nothing. Losing his wallet. He lost it 3 times last year. So
I do that constant. Anytime I leave the house, I walk to the door and go, fuck, where's my keys? And then I have to wander around the house. Then I get back to the front door and I'm like, fuck, where's my wallet?
But your wallet's not gone multiple times a year.
It's just, I do it in a hotel room. I lose it fucking
me too.
Within 5 feet of my radius.
One little room, and I'm tearing it apart looking for shit that I know is there. So they said that they would this property where the car was found is owned by the Byram family.
Oh, easy peasy.
And they said that Shane and his father would work where the car was found. They would work around there often, and they had worked out there prior to the disappearance a couple weeks before they found the wallet. And Shane and his father had been out of town on business when Michelle disappeared. So Shane has an airtight alibi.
Shane has left town post losing his wallet? You didn't...
Yeah, him and his dad went out of town with no wallet, apparently. But
okay. Right.
It
checks out.
He's absolutely not in the state when the disappearance happened that day. So Shane
loses it.
That's how much he loses his fucking wallet. He literally loses it, and then someone pulls a missing woman's car directly next to the wallet. That's terrible luck.
That's the worst.
That's like that and it's a big if Stephen Avery's actually innocent of that second murder, that would be that level of bad luck of like are you kidding me? What? Like that's the kind of bad luck I would have to for him to be innocent.
Patrice used to say that he doesn't even litter because with his luck he'd throw a Dr. Pepper can into a bush and there would be a white woman's body there and they would frame him for murder.
I just told you to take a picture of someone if they accidentally cut themselves around you. Not take a picture, take a video with them explaining the wound. So I'm on the same page with Patrice on that shit. Yeah.
Never leave anything anywhere because there's going to be a body there.
I'm telling you, it's the truth. Yeah. You don't know shit. It's very terrifying. I'm sure that's happened to people before. So
the man left town with no wallet, James. I'm
no
baffled.
Wallet. That's some seat of your pants Alabama Hills living right there, isn't it?
That's crazy.
No wallet. Let's go.
We got business to do elsewhere. Let's just go.
Let's just go. Fuck it. So that is very interesting. They in the car they are able to get I'm sorry here. They are able to get a fingerprint, one perfect print out of the car.
One lone print
on the seatbelt. Perfect. The metal part.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You can get a great print off of that.
Oh, boy.
And it comes
you don't
out.
Have to put powder on it. You can just look at a seatbelt and see somebody's perfect fingerprint on it every time.
Look at it standing out.
Right there. There it is.
Right there. So the fingerprint belongs to. Who are you going to do? Drum roll.
Shane Byram.
Sheriff Phillips.
God damn it, Phillips.
This fucking idiot just didn't put gloves on when he was looking through the car.
Chucky P. just wandering around this car.
And then he's like, I found a print. And they're like, it's yours, stupid, you fucking idiot. You made the
bastard.
Print, then found it. You're either a murderer or a moron. Which one? Sheriff, are you a murderer or a complete fucking jackass dildo? Which one are you? Because I'm getting tired of figuring this shit out.
We're in the same section of the dictionary. Which one are you under?
Which
murderer
one?
Or moron?
I'll stay in the M's till you think about it for a minute, all right? Jesus Christ. I already got the A. I got that folded under asshole, so don't worry. So they got that. He said, he didn't realize that it was his print. Sorry about that. And it obviously didn't match the suspects. They couldn't find, Michelle's print. The only print that was the only print of value in the car that wasn't one of Michelle's prints, which obviously they would be in her car. They searched Shane Byram's home actually just to make sure.
Poor bastard.
This poor guy. He's like, I lose things, okay? I'm just kind of clumsy. I got loose pockets, and sometimes I sit down and things fall. I don't know, man. Come on. Don't go through all my porn. Jesus Christ.
You're about to lose your freedom, man.
Oh, man. Lactating Latinas now they found. Now I'm, what am I supposed to do? Now I'm embarrassed. This is ridiculous.
Now they know what I jerk off to. God
damn it. Jesus Christ. They found it all. So they said that nothing there. They didn't find anything in the home, anything around, anything of Shane's that would connect him to the murder. Just the wallet found next to the car. So they also, when they found the car, a purse with money was found in it as well.
Okay.
So car with her purse in it, Michelle's purse is still there with money in it. So not a robbery.
Nope.
Not like she got carjacked, because I assume they'd go through a purse that was in the car. So
and
the
she
one
likely didn't leave on her own, because if you do that, you're going to need your purse and money.
You always take your purse and money, yeah, especially in the days of cash being a big deal.
Right.
You know, she doesn't have like her debit card in her sweatpant pocket or something. So the police officer said it looked like theft wasn't the intention. It looked like it was just dropped off the car, meaning. So it had, her purse had her driver's license in it and everything. I mean, it was her complete purse. Also in the car, they found her purse with license and cash, a jacket, a gun she had as well, keys, and some other items that were personal items. It was only in there. Not like a big bloody knife under the seat or something, or nothing. Can't find her. So it's insane, right? This goes on for another month after this. So it's a month and 3 weeks later.
Jesus.
January 20th, Ethan's birthday, by the way.
Stop it.
1998, they find Michelle.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, bud. Good news, bad news. Good news, we got ice cream cake from the Carvel with them crunchies in it. You're going to like that a lot. I know those are your favorite. Bad news is your mama's dead. So
good news, I got your mom back for your birthday.
Bad news, we're going to have to go identify her at the morgue. So she's found here near Powell, it is. This is fucking terrible, man. Her body was removed from a hole, and I have a picture of the hole, too, that was approximately 5 to 6 feet deep, and the hole was covered in rocks. It wasn't dug like a grave, though. It's dug like a hole, and then she's like kind of stuffed in it, and there's some shit poured on top of her.
Like a post hole?
Yeah, he just dug a wider post hole. That's all it was. There was no, someone did. There was no, it wasn't like a rectangular at all thing.
She's not laying. She's like standing on her head?
Or crumpled up in a ball, stuffed in there, So that's how they find her. And it had been covered with rocks and things like that, and it was on a hillside on a property that we'll talk about here. The property owner discovered this and called the police. They're just walking on their property. So they said the cops said when they got there, a trail could be followed. So there was a trail leading right over to where the body was, like over to this area. It was off a trail.
Buried on private property.
On private property, yeah. Off a trail. So they're like, that's interesting. Also, the property owner said that he saw what looked like tire tracks from a small truck. And it said it looked like it had been some time before someone had driven out there. So they go, looks like there's tire tracks from a small truck. Looks like they've been here for quite some time.
Right.
That's what he's trying to tell him. Doesn't look like anybody else has driven out here in a while, because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere on a private property road. So he also said, this is the cop, said that he could see cotton-like material stuck to the shrubs along the path to where the body was found.
Huh.
So like a predator, if it bleeds cotton, we can kill it situation. So there's a cotton there. And he said it was on both sides of the trail and went almost all the way down to where the body was.
Really?
So, there was a bunch of cotton being taken by the shrubs and shit on the side.
Bushes and shit, just grabbing it off of whatever.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's very, very fucking weird. And when now they tell Barry, hey, we found Michelle, we found your wife. And they said when they told him they found your wife and she is,
Yeah.
They didn't even
in a very horrible way.
They just said, we found Michelle, which could mean anything. We found her living in Nova Scotia with, a radio DJ. It could be anything. So
we found her. She's a shrimping boat captain.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. She's working the mighty Mississippi. But instead they said he didn't ask where they found her.
Oh.
He didn't ask, is she okay? Is she dead? Is she hurt? What's wrong? What happened? Nothing. Didn't ask whether she had any injuries. And when they asked, do you have any questions? He said no. He just said, we found your wife. And he was like, all right. That was it. They said, don't you have any questions? And he went, no, I'm good.
That means I know the answers, right?
Don't have to ask if she's okay or where she was if I killed her and put her there, probably. So I think that's what the cops are thinking, too.
I know the answers to both of the key parts.
Yeah. That's like the number one most suspicious thing you can do if you kill a spouse is to be like, not ask questions about what the fuck is going on.
Where has she been? That's not a question. Right
Someone who cares, ask questions. Someone who cares and doesn't already know the answers, ask questions, because that's normal. That's what a normal person would do. So, yeah, this is very, very interesting. And they said they also didn't recall him being upset in any way. He didn't, break down. He didn't, sit down and run his hands through his hair, knock his hat off his head, and, scrunch up his beard a little bit. Nothing. Like, he didn't.
Grab his overall straps. Nothing.
Yeah. Crumple to his knees. Undo one overall strap and vow revenge. Just undo one and go, I swear to God, when I find the man that did this to my wife.
He doesn't even know. Did they tell him that she's dead, or did?
Well, they had to then tell him that she was dead.
Did he say I know?
No, they were just like, yeah, she's dead on the hillside, and he was like, all right, okay. Wow. She was, when they find her, she's been through the mill a bit here.
Really?
She had been bludgeoned multiple times in the head, blunt force trauma to the head with what they assume, and now this is a very big assumption, but the medical examiner says it is consistent with the butt of a shotgun.
How many shotgun beatings has he seen?
That's what I mean. I guess in this area, probably quite a few. But he said that's what it's consistent with, which it could also be consistent with probably a lot of things. The butt of a rifle, the butt of
anything.
Anything. So things that aren't mistakable, though, she has been, and these are bad blunt force trauma to the head, too.
Yeah.
Two to the back of the head, one on the side of the head. Also, her throat is cut, and her face is slashed up as well.
What the fuck?
And she's been stabbed in the chest also. So this is like 3 killings, basically.
Yeah.
This is blunt force trauma, cut throat, and stabbed. That's someone making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's mad and personal.
That's exactly what that is. There's no that, and it cuts to the face, things like that.
Right.
That's either personal or a serial killer's weird twitch. But
that's like a fucking a kink or a hang up or like you'll never be pretty again.
Yeah, exactly. One of those two things. Which if you're beating her with a shotgun and stabbing her in the chest, that's pretty irrelevant at that point anyway.
Exactly.
So her temporal bone, which is the hardest bone in the human body.
Where is that? On the back?
Your temporal's in your skull, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the back of the head, right?
Yeah, temporal bone was fractured.
Or is that the front? That might be the fucking...
Either way.
Temporal lobe, isn't that the front?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
so
it's got to be the front.
It's your goddamn skull, and it was crushed from blunt force. So they said it was pretty hard. By the way, the spot she was buried in, this shallow grave, is a place that Barry Whitten had repeatedly told many of his friends that's in the past that spot is, quote, his favorite spot in the world.
Oh, no.
It's a shady hillside on a property that he had been run off of many times over the years because it's not his property.
My favorite place in the world somebody owns.
Somebody else's property that I like to go squat on and look at the sunset once in a while. So that's what's going on here. That's not good either. Now, they said that the reaction here from her friends, one of her friends said, I will always remember her happy, bubbly personality. I know she's missed by many people, me included. One guy said that I miss her and I miss her smile. She was a friend. I saw her every day going to work. People liked her in the area. Yeah. She was considered friendly and nice and more friendly than most of the people around these parts kind of thing. Now, there is a shotgun involved in here, and that is Dennis Whitten. That is the good Reverend Dennis Whitten here, Barry's father here.
Daddy Whitten?
Daddy Whitten. Daddy Dennis Whitten. He is asked if his son had given him anything after Michelle's disappearance. Hey, your kid didn't give you anything. And he said, well, just a shotgun. Or like, all righty.
Could he do anything less suspicious?
More to go
suspicious? I don't know.
More or less conspicuous. This is a disaster. This is bad
Everything
shit.
done on his behavior is bad.
It's
so
all
bad.
He does nothing to dispel, suspicion at all. None. Nothing. If anything, he makes it worse. He's like, if he didn't do it, he actively sat down beforehand and said, oh, fuck these people. I'm going to make them all think I did it. Fuck them. That's the only explanation for this, is that he's trying to make people think he did it.
He framed himself.
He framed himself. God, boy framed himself. Now, this shotgun, Dennis Whitten said he had given it to his son because it was a family heirloom and it had been in the family. He got it from his father, and then he passed it down to Barry. It's an old shotgun. He said, but Barry had given it back to him after Michelle went missing. He said it was within a week of the disappearance.
Okay.
Which is very suspicious again.
Not good.
And he said that Barry said he didn't want the law to confiscate it because he's a felon and he's not supposed to have guns. So he said,
great.
You take this shotgun. I don't want the law to confiscate it because it has sentimental value to me. Mm-hmm. Not only did it belong to Pop Pop, but I also killed my wife with it. So, them two things together, between Pop Pop and Michelle, this thing is just a lot of meaning to me. Wow. So Dennis said, sure. He took it back, and then he ended up giving it to the investigators when asked for it, obviously.
Right.
So Jerry Carter's another guy. He says that he's known Barry Whitten his whole life, and he has worked for years doing tire mechanics on cars in section. That's what Jerry does for a living here, Jerry Carter. Carter said he put tires on Whitten's car for him about a month before Michelle went missing. He said that he saw Barry the morning Michelle was reported missing. He said he passed Barry while driving, and Barry was driving while partially situated in both lanes.
Huh.
So he's just driving down the middle of the fucking road dangerously.
On the line. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he said he knew it was Whitten's truck right away because he had put the mud grips on the back of the truck and street tires on the front. And he was the guy who did it. So he goes, yeah.
He's got mudders and street tires?
Mudders on the back and street tires on the front. This is a weird
gas
area.
rod is he running around town?
This is a very, very strange mountain, Jimmy. That is
a very specific truck.
That's I mean, you're not mistaking that for shit.
It's like a tractor truck.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very, very, very weird.
That's hysterical.
That's for mud plowing or
yeah, it's for farm work, and that's for sure, right?
Yeah, the tractor pulls like.
That's what a John Deere has on it. It has
that's
mudder
what I mean.
Tires on the back and fucking
get grip in the mud, and then you're steering wheels up front there. So
that's so funny.
It's so weird. Picture this guy driving that too, and you really got something. So he said he put the grips on. He knew all about it. He put the mud grips on. He said that he saw Whitten out. This was before 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So this goes against his 11:03 note.
Right.
So there's that. They asked this Carter if he could see inside the truck, and he said, sure, I could. Yeah. And they said, well, what was in there? And he said, something was on the floorboard that was higher than the seat, but not as high as the dash. So it came up higher than where someone's ass would sit, but not all the way up to the dashboard. And it was covered up. They said, did you see a car seat or a toddler in the car, like a 5-year-old anywhere? And he said that he did not. So Ethan's not with him, but something is sitting on the floorboard of the car covered up, which is consistent with what that cop saw that morning when he passed him with some sort of, covering of some kind of blanket or something on the front seat. So that goes together.
If you crumple a person on your floorboard, that's about the height, right?
That would be about the height. And, a small woman, and you crumple, and then you put a blanket over her and her sleeping bag and that sort of something, cotton that would get caught on shrubbery as you walk down a trail.
Right.
Something like that, yeah. And also, if she was crumpled up, that would make a lot of sense for the hole, too. If she was, in rigor in that position, crumpled, that would make a lot more sense to when he put her in there. So, Carter, they said, they asked him, why didn't you tell police about this? And he said, I don't know. I just talked about it just gossiped about it around the mountain. Didn't really think it was important.
It's my friend. Didn't we were still looking for his wife at the time.
Yeah, that's all. So now Barry's behavior throughout all of this remains completely indifferent. Just, I don't know, weird, right? wow, she's dead, huh? Huh.
Do
That's
they get
something.
TV up here?
Yeah, I don't think.
Does he not know how bad this looks?
There has to be an antenna somewhere that picks up NBC so you can get Law and Order and know you're in deep shit in the 90s. I'm trying to think of what you would have seen.
You got to know that, boy,
You've
am I
seen
doing everything wrong.
Matlock or the Rockford Files or some 70s show.
Perry Mason, anything.
Perry Mason. Even T.J. Hooker was chasing people like this. I'm thinking of 70s shows for him. So,
Goddamn anything.
a towel was found with the body. Multiple things are found with the body, like some duct tape in a sweatshirt and on her sweatshirt, and also this towel. Now, this towel matches the towels that the Whittens have at their house.
Mm-hmm.
Of
course.
That seems bad. By the way, that was buried on his favorite place in the world. So, but they said that this was a popular brand. It was a very popular brand. Like a lot of, it's the most common towel there is. So they were like,
I don't even know. You're probably right. I probably have the most popular towels in my house. I would have no fucking idea because I don't know towel brands.
It was, and I'm sure they bought it at the same place in town. Everybody else buys something. So yeah, that makes sense. They went to Walmart and bought towels for $1, you know? So they said that although Barry knew the spot that Michelle was found in from his childhood, you know, and all that, and it was one of his favorite spots, and they had a towel that matched the house, but didn't no way to know if they came from the house. Blood that can't be identified as anything because they said the carpet must have been cleaned since then and put cleaning fluids in it, so it degrades all the DNA, and a square cut out of the fucking rug. All of this, though, there's not a lot of evidence, so they go in with a fine-tooth comb and try to find blood anywhere in the bedroom on the walls looking for spatter, because if you were beating somebody with a shotgun like that, blood would fly out. But Barry had repainted the room already. Repainted the whole room, cut out a square. I mean, it looks as guilty as a human being could look.
I don't know, James. Sometimes when your better half is missing and you got to occupy yourself, you're just like,
That's true.
What? I'm going to redecorate.
I'm going to paint. Painting takes time. That cutting in, you really got to concentrate.
She hates the smell. You know, the fumes get to her. So I'll do it before she gets home. I'll surprise her.
Now when she gets home, she's going to go, oh, it's beautiful. Jesus, nice job. And then it's blowjobs for Barry after that, Putty. I'll tell you what. Blowjobs for Barry time. I know what to do.
Every Sunday.
Now,
blowjobs all day.
all day long. Now, the investigator in this case, Atkinson, he said, quote, too many things that were not a coincidence. The location where Mrs. Whitten was found, evidence in the house that we looked at, his lack of concern for his wife, the questions that he asked the questions that he asked, statements that he made to me, the fact that the other people that were, you might call persons of interest, didn't even know the Whittens. So it wasn't like there was some beef that, you know, the Byrons actually had beef with them. He said, quote, I ruled them out pretty quickly. I want to make this clear. When I got into this, Mr. Whitten was a person of interest along with 5 or 6 others, and we ruled those out pretty quick.
It's not necessarily that we ruled them out as much as Barry ruled himself in.
He just kept, you say you put your right foot in, you take your right foot out. He just never took it out. Everybody else took it out, shook it all about. He just said, no, I'm good, and just kept it right in the middle of the investigation.
He put his right foot in, then he put his left foot in, and then he just stayed there shaking all about.
Shaking up, put a DNA swab in and shake it all about. You know how it goes.
He just jumped himself in and said,
you do the murder pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
This fucking idiot.
You dig a big old hole, you grab your wife in the car, stuff her into your seat, and you put a blanket on. You get out to the woods and you put her in a hole. That's what it's all about. Bum, bum. You cut a piece of carpet and you get repaint your bedroom and you say you don't know. Give a shotgun to your father and that's how it goes. That's what it's all about. Bum, bum, bum. The murder pokey, Jim.
You kill your own wife and incriminate yourself.
Say everything wrong and have no alibi.
Asshole.
Fucking ridiculous. More physical evidence, too, here. Evidence includes fibers that came from the grave where Michelle had been found. fibers from the path leading to the grave, also soil samples, fiber from rugs in the Witten's home, duct tape, a washcloth, and a hand towel that matched the ones from the house, Michelle's pink sweatshirt that had duct tape on it found with her body, and a shovel. This is all the evidence they've collected. Okay. Fibers found at the scene were not consistent to items found in the home.
Oh.
Okay. Which,
that's not good.
No, but I mean, he could have had a blanket, taken it from the home, and now it's in a. Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah. If it's not a set, who cares? Right. Also, additional items that were turned in included a vacuum cleaner, sleeping bag, coat, and fibers taken from 2 plastic bags from the laundry room of the Witten's home. They said they compared the fibers found at the burial scene to those items, and they didn't match either. Okay. Now, the state asked what the fibers found at the scene might be consistent with, and they said, the lab came back and said that those particular fibers are usually consistent with filler material, like the shit in pillows, sleeping bags, jackets, comforters, things like that.
Shit. Yeah.
That puffy shit that would
shit at Build-A-Bear that's in a rotate.
Absolutely. That if you were walking with a bunch of that shit hanging off, it would catch in every branch as you walked through a trail.
And it pulls
so wispy,
and pulls more out. And then that part grabs a branch and pulls more out. And it's like a tissue box. There's always just that little nubbin that hangs out.
It's blowing in the even when there's no breeze. It's like it can't just hang. It's always air moves it around. So nothing is matching though. They said that that's what those are. They said that the duct tape found from the sleeve of the sweatshirt and duct tape found at the home didn't contain fingerprints that could be used, and they also found that the two didn't match. So they were different duct tapes as well. So they don't have much of that. Also, soil found on the shovel and at the house and soil found at the scene were different. Now, the problem is they don't get any of this shit till over a week after she disappeared. So who knows? He could have been digging other holes.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He could have been digging other holes. It's interesting. So the court was also later on told that the contents of the vacuum bag, because they vacuumed the whole house to find anything physical material, found nothing as well there. No evidence. There's pictures of the carpet in the master bedroom, which is the carpet is the thing they keep concentrating on. Yeah. The week before, according to a witness, that carpet is intact. Now, wife missing. Now the bedroom's repainted and there's a chunk of carpet cut out and there's unidentified blood that's been cleaned in the last 2 weeks. Right. You live in a fucking cabin in Alabama. How often do you fucking go to the store and rent a carpet cleaner and really get in there deep? How often does that happen? Probably.
Yeah. And why is the carpet missing?
Yeah. What are you cutting out of what the fuck is
Nobody
going on
has
there?
chunks of carpet missing anywhere unless they're murdering people.
Unless that's the only reason why. I've never been like, I'll just cut a chunk out of this carpet. Put a throw rug on it.
I've been cutting stains out of this house for years.
If you're poor and you have a stain, because I've been there before, you get a fucking rug at that point. You put it over the stain. That's how it works.
Or you just
throw rug.
walk over the stain and until the rest of the rug matches that stain.
Yep. You go get that fucking, what's the shit you spray on?
Rug doctor and the Resolve.
Resolve first, then you go to the grocery store, you rent the rug doctor, you bring it over, you work it over here. So,
the rug doctor that smells like animal piss because that's the only reason people use it.
Well, my cat keeps peeing on the carpet, so I'll rent this and then return it to you.
I'm getting my security deposit back.
Fuck that. But not on this carpet cleaner.
Nope.
On my apartment. So they said, that was brought up a lot of questions. Cut out pieces of carpet, also area where that tested positive for blood. The nature of the test done, they said it was positive for human blood, but not positive for any DNA because, and also what deteriorated. And what they said the blood they found was in a drag pattern in the master bedroom as well.
What the fuck?
Like, she was killed, bled out in one area, that was cut out, and then he dragged her somewhere else, but just tried to clean that part up, is what they're saying.
You know what is never an accident? is drag blood marks. That's always... There's never been a story of like, I can explain that away. No, you can't.
No, you can't. Then other areas of the carpet in the master bedroom showed that blood might be present, but they didn't test positive for human blood. But they said that it was also cleaned recently too. So there's some of them might not have been. Oh my God! So didn't get any DNA. They asked if there was any DNA. They said there was no DNA found in these spots. They said later on his lawyers will ask, could those drag marks have been made by somebody who cut their ankle?
Right.
And he said, well, if they drag their ankle on the floor, then yeah. I mean, sure. But who the hell walks like that in their own house? I mean, just drag my bloody ankle. Hold on. I'm going to clot this up with the carpet fibers. Let me rub it on the carpet. Who the fuck does that?
Oh, look, I made a little mess. I'm going to make it worse.
Yeah. Let me smear it. Now it looks like art. It's better. So they said that they didn't know whether this blood came from Barry, Michelle, Ethan, or whoever the fuck else could have been there. They said, yeah. So Michelle's mom here said that, at first, Barry just said she went out to get Hardee's and that was that. But now, after a while, after a couple months, he came to her with a different story.
Oh?
And he said, look, I didn't want to tell you this at first because I thought you'd be upset by it, but Michelle stole some money from me that I had that morning, and she went out to buy drugs that morning. That's why she left. So I don't know. This could have to do with some drug dealer or something like that, but that was why she was leaving. It wasn't for Hardee's. It was for drugs. That's how it goes. And the mother said, quote, I kept telling him, Barry, she wasn't on drugs. And he said, yes, she was. And he said, the mother said, I said, you need to tell the police then. If this is so, then you need to tell the police. I don't think it's true, but if it is, fucking tell them, and we'll find out through that. So then later on, though, Barry came to her and said that wasn't true.
I thought that was going to stop everything.
I figured.
And now it's made it worse.
If you just say drugs, then people are like, oh, it must have been drugs, and then they'll leave me alone. Yeah. And I'll just watch, I'll watch the Alabama-Auburn game on Saturday. That's what my plan was, but it ain't working out that way.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity. And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep shoppers coming back with personalized experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge. In fact, it's proven, based on a report from EY, businesses on Shopify POS see real results, like 22% better total cost of ownership and benefits, equivalent to an 8.9% uplift in sales on average relative to the market set surveyed. Want more? Check out at shopify.com/Wondery. All lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity. Shopify.com/Wondery.
So, Mom.
Surprisingly, if you tell somebody who has a loved one, a child of theirs was murdered, surprisingly, when you explain that their child was a drug addict, and that's probably why they aren't okay with that, and they want more investigation done.
They're not thrilled with it, and they'd like to. But in the end, though, Mom doesn't want to hide it. She says, if it's true, tell the cops then, because fuck, let's find Michelle, let's find out who did this to Michelle. They found her at this point. So Barry said, Michelle's mom said, quote, Barry said later on, I want to tell you something else. She didn't go to buy drugs that morning.
Okay,
we know, Barry.
Yeah.
I just told you that. I said, I knew when you told me that wasn't so. And she said he was crying too, and I was crying, and we were just standing there talking. So there's no reason in the world, if this is all, my wife went out for Hardee's, didn't come home, to tell her mom she went out for drugs and then be like, wait, no, she didn't, and be crying. There's no reason on earth, if this is all innocent, for you to do that. What would that make her mom feel? Oh, I thought she just went out for biscuits and gravy, but she went out for drugs. That's much better. Like, what the fuck did she? No reason for that other than to get blame off of you. That's the only thing. So time goes by. 1998 goes by. They don't have any evidence. They have no actual physical evidence that matches. They don't really have. They have a lot of puzzle pieces that seem to make a picture, but none of the pieces actually fit together, which is a huge problem.
We've got enough to know exactly what happened.
Yep. And not be able to prove it.
Enough to go into a courtroom and tell them exactly what happened.
Absolutely. That's the fucking problem. So later on in 1998, he just meets another woman.
Okay.
Moving on. So he meets another woman. He's not being charged or anything. He puts a personal ad in a local magazine. So when we do personal ads,
try to find that.
When we do them, this is what could be out there when we're doing these old newspaper ads.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, this is from Kim's sister. The woman he'll meet is named Kimberly. And her sister said, quote, his friends had put his name in one of those little buy-sell trader-like magazines, telling him he just needed to find somebody after Michelle's death. Kim was lonely, and she just saw his name in there, and she contacted him. And they met, and they just hit it off, and they got along really well, and Haley really liked him, too.
She has a daughter.
She has a daughter. Now, Kimberly Michelle Compton is the woman who he meets, who will become Kimberly Michelle Compton Witten after that. She's also, she's born 1970, so she's like a year younger than him. Mm-hmm. So at least he's always dating in his age range. That's nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't find like a 12-year-old like Ty Cobb's father or anything. So,
so now it's him, Kim, Haley, and Ethan in the same house.
And Ethan. And Haley and Ethan are the same age. They're both 11 years old.
Perfect.
So it couldn't work out any better. Haley is Haley Brianne Culwell is her name. And she's born in same time and whatever. So here we go. Now, Jesus fucking Christ. They're going and, wow. All right. I think Ethan's actually a couple of years older, but.
Okay.
Yeah, Ethan's a couple of years older, but they have kids at this point. So now Kim is a licensed practical nurse at a nursing home.
LPN.
That's LPN at a nursing home. So that's what she does for a living. She works at the Cloverdale Manor Nursing Home in Scottsboro. Like I said, daughter here, Haley. There we go. Now Kim doesn't live up on this mountain.
Oh.
So she's heard nothing about Barry, nothing. Yeah. Doesn't know shit about Michelle missing, all the rumors that have been flying around for the last couple of years. Doesn't know a goddamn thing about it. So that's pretty interesting, honestly. And when she didn't find out about any of it until after they were already married, because they'll get married here. Mm-hmm. So they got married, and she just figured he had to be innocent. They didn't charge him with anything, and one of those things, like it's the middle and these little towns, there's gossip is the fucking lifeblood of it. So she's not really taking any of that gossip shit to heart. She's just like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. So they got married 4 to 6 months after meeting. Mm-hmm. Real soon, real quick. And this is two single people with kids that are just like, yeah, let's meld it together here. No time for these people. Don't have time for dating. She works at a nursing home. He's homesteading. They both have kids. What are they going to go to the fucking movies? They don't have time. You like me? Great. Let's get hitched. What are we doing?
Let's get this fishing and weekend and lifestyle together. Let's go.
Shit, yeah. Let's do it. Her family didn't know about Michelle or any of that either. And Kim's father, Jerry, said that he was unaware that the first wife was murdered at all, even because he says, quote, he told me his first wife died from an overdose.
Oh, boy.
So he lied to make it, again, understandable. You're going to explain all the suspicious circumstances and evidence and all that shit. So he's on the homestead now, 40-acre homestead, a mile away from his dad's. He's got goats. He's got milk cows. He's got bulls. Yeah, he's doing the whole thing here. They would always go to the little store in town to buy supplies. The woman who works there described Haley, the little girl, as a, quote, sweet little girl. And Kimberly was nice, but, quote, didn't have a lot to say.
Okay, very much.
She's not a lot like him. Yeah. Now, they said Barry was always polite, but people always wondered about him.
Yeah.
Every place he went, as soon as he walked out the door, they would, even years later, they were still whispering about him. Like,
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The woman from the store said it's in the back of our minds because of the other one.
The front of our minds. Because every time you see him, you think about it.
It's right there. Yeah, it's right there. So they're married for a few years. They get married in 1998, June 21st, 2007.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is the families are growing together and all that. She now works at the Cloverdale Manor Nursing Home in Scottsboro, like we said. This day, she went to her job to pick up some papers, is what she said. And then she was driving home to section after that.
Right.
So we know she went to the nursing home, picked up papers. Then on the way home, she spoke on the phone with a friend of hers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just went to work, picked up some papers, on my way home now, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, she is never heard from again. Disappears. Gone.
Yeah. Common denominator.
This is on a Friday.
Okay.
Friday, June 22nd. 23rd is Saturday, 24th is Sunday. Monday comes, she doesn't show up at work.
Right.
And it's not like her to not show up at work. And so, people are asking, where's Kim?
There's some questions. Yeah.
After 2 days, they call the cops. They're like, fuck this. We can't get a hold of her. She's reliable. This is ridiculous. She would have quit if she was going to quit. She wouldn't just walk away.
And if she had... We're reporting this. Her husband did too, right? Obviously.
We assume that her husband did too, or maybe she's just ignoring us. Maybe she's at home. Who knows? So she's reported missing, like we said. Her truck is found pretty quickly near they live in a log cabin. They're constructing on their homestead here a new log cabin. So they're in the middle of constructing a new house here, a log home, and that's where they find her truck, right by the partially constructed new log house on their property.
He didn't find it?
No, the cops found it there. It's down a dirt road about a mile and a half off of Jackson County Highway. Okay. So it's like in the back over there somewhere. Yeah, you have to be going to it. Right. So, again, posters of Kimberly and Haley are everywhere. Haley's an 11-year-old girl. So,
she's missing too.
She's missing too. Yeah, she's missing too. Yeah, Kimberly and Haley both disappear without a trace. They don't know where the fuck they are.
Sweet
gone.
Jesus.
So they put up posters everywhere. A lot of people in the area are hoping that they just realized Barry was an asshole and took off and are kind of hiding out to get away from him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just to make sure it dies down. And they said they'll call when they see news stories about them missing. I'm sure they'll call and say, oh, no, we're not dead. We're here. So the mom said that's what she thought. She said she was proud of her job at the nursing home. She wouldn't, run away. Her mom said she wouldn't have just left her job. She wouldn't have just left her truck.
Right.
And where'd she go with who? Somebody would have had to pick her up at that point. Now there's a
right. She's got no car, but she's got a kid with her. Come on.
But she's got an 11-year-old with her. Yeah. So the mom then said, quote, "It makes you wonder if he did it the first time. Did he do something with Kim and Haley? Does he know where Kim and Haley is? I personally am to the point that I just want their bodies back so I can bury them." This is after a couple months that go by. It's just something in me that feels like I'm never going to see them again.
Months.
This is after a couple weeks, she says that. She's like, it's been a couple weeks. Her truck's there. She would have called me. She's dead. Their mom is – a lot of people will keep the hope alive beyond logic. And her mom is saying, the logic is she's fucking dead. Give me the bodies back and I'll get through this. So
she's expecting the worst, hoping for it. Sure, she's hoping that she gets her granddaughter back, but she's a realist. She gets it. Yeah,
that's the thing. And they asked Kim's sister because they said Kim's sister would know how the marriage was going. what did Kim tell you about her marriage? And Kim's sister said, as far as I knew, they were really happy. Kim never said a word to me about them being unhappy or anything like that. There was no sign she was abused. She never told me that. I never saw her with a black eye or a bruise or a scratch or, she always seemed happy, go lucky. She seemed just like herself as she was before the marriage. She didn't change. So they're like, I don't get it. So the police, of course, talked to Barry, obviously. Barry's story is this.
He has a story.
He said, listen, fellers, all right now. Last time I seen them two ladies, I gave them $20,000.
Oh.
Which is a lot of money. I gave them $20,000, and they left my house after loading their belongings into a white van with Alabama license plates.
Okay.
He said that from what he heard them discussing, they may have been headed to Montana. Okay.
What is happening?
Now, Montana, they have zero connections in Montana. She doesn't know anybody in Montana. She doesn't have like an uncle in Montana. Nobody in Montana. So that would be just as far away from Alabama as you could go. But other than that, makes no sense. Right. And he said, I gave them $20,000 and they loaded all their shit up in a white van. Also, there's no banking activity for Kim after the day she goes missing. So it's not like then $20,000 was deposited into her account, nothing like that. So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Also, $20,000 that's not gonna take care of you for the rest of your life. So
no, this is 2007 for Christ's sake. I mean, you can start over with $20,000. You can get an apartment, and you can start over in a new place. Yeah, that would be. You better
have a job and a bank account set up,
or you're going to be out of money in a couple of months. Yeah, absolutely. So neighbors started to talk, of course, obviously. This is one of the neighbors here said, a section woman, she wouldn't give her name. She said, everybody in Macedonia, that's another town there, everybody in Macedonia and section, I would say 99% to my knowledge, is aware of Barry and circumstances that happened in his past with his first wife. And they are all literally terrified of him and what he could do to them.
Oh, my.
So no one will talk about Barry. The cops come up to the mountain to talk. Hey, I got to ask some questions. They'll fucking slam the door in their face and go, I ain't fucking saying shit about this guy. They will not talk about Barry because they're like, hey, you all go back down the hill. We're stuck on the mountain with this fucking psychopath. He's going to kill me. Fuck that. He's already killed,
probably
according to them,
people that we know,
including a child. Including a child. So this is terrifying. So they start searching. They have to search. They search. It's a hilly property that he lives on here, as described by the newspaper, a reclusive northeast Alabama area. Reclusive describing land is
right.
Reclusive means you
area.
Land can't pull back from anything. It's always there. But
land can't hide. But it's trying.
It's trying, boy. They said there's a swarm of law officers and searching and searching. They search all day. 100 state, federal, and local law officers swarmed all over the property looking for her because there's an 11-year-old involved. It's one thing. It's a grown woman. Yeah, that's terrible, obviously. But grown man, grown woman, they disappear. When a child's missing, we're looking for him.
Right.
Period. So, they didn't just take off on their own to go party in Reno for the weekend. They're 11.
Also,
something's
you
up.
Can't use the old. She went off to buy meth because there's an 11-year-old.
She took her 11-year-old, stopped at her job, picked up some paperwork, and then got a bunch of meth. Parked by a log cabin. Took her $20,000 and blew to Montana, baby. You know how it is. Pocket full of meth, heart full of lust. That's how it works with her. Pocket full of meth and a heart full of lust. Jesus Christ. So they use cadaver dogs to search as well. It's 40 acres, so there's a lot. They drained a pond looking for her. Wow. Full out drained a fucking pond. Said, just get the pumps. We're draining this shit. Fuck this.
Unreal.
I mean, they are looking hard. FBI's involved as well. FBI spokesman said that during that the search, which began Thursday, was called off on a Friday night, and that they still can, on the property, and the investigation continues, and they're still missing. But what they do find on the property are guns.
Oh.
He's a felon who's not allowed to have guns. Remember, that's those little stolen property things that he had? He's not allowed to have any guns. So on July 12, 2007, they find 5 firearms during the search of his cabin here. They find where is it, 3 to 4 long guns in a closet in the residence and another gun on a wall in a smaller house on the property. Mm-hmm. He had guns around. So now during his hearing for this, because it's federal gun charges now, not just state shit, FBI agents said blood evidence was found in a truck on the Witten property and on a small hatchet on the property. So they said they found some blood in the truck that they found, and they found a small hatchet with some blood, but they couldn't, it was too degraded or something. They could not match those two things together. It's just that there's both blood on both. So, but he also has a farm with all sorts of shit. Who knows if he's hacking up a goat or something? Who knows? So, they jail him on the weapons charges. This is pretty fucked up what they do. I don't like what they do here with his son. This is bullshit. His son's 11 years old, Ethan. He's 11, okay? Yeah. He's not an accomplice. He's 11. So Ethan is at the house when they arrest Barry for the federal charges. So they, rather than call a relative up, his father, the Rev, and his mother live a mile up the road, a mile. Yeah, yeah. Rather than call them and go, hey, come pick up your grandson, or just drop him off in the front yard as you're leaving, they take him into custody of the Alabama Department of Human Resources. They take the kid because they say they think if the kid's in there for a while, they can get some info out of the kid, they think. Wow. So they're essentially holding the kid in jail, too, hoping he'll fucking talk.
Wow.
He's 11. And his mom's dead, and now his stepmom's gone. Leave this fucking kid alone, honestly.
And his stepsister. This is really bad.
If you think about it, if your mom died when you're 5, and then a year and a half later you get a stepmom, and that's been your mom since you're 6, dude, that's your mom at that point.
But if you get him out of that place and into somewhere that he feels safe and comfortable, he might divulge something to the grandparents before he divulges it to the fucking police.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? He might get somewhere comfortable and then be like, all right, guys, I got to talk to you.
Call Michelle's parents. I bet they'd love to have him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd love to have him. So instead they place him there. He lived at the residence as well. They said they sent him to a state home hoping he would eventually tell what happened. But they said he remained silent for months. They kept him for months.
Jesus Christ.
Months without this, and there's no bail. He's just held in this isn't like a crime thing, so they can't have a bail hearing or anything.
You take a child that's probably been through some really horrific shit. Absolute hell. And you made that hell a little bit worse by putting him somewhere unfamiliar. He's not going to tell anybody nearby what the fuck's happening. He's terrified.
And he eventually, after months of silence, was allowed to move in with relatives who wouldn't comment on him saying anything to them either. So he's charged with that. Her mom, again, this is Kim's mom, said, we feel like something bad has happened. She wouldn't have just left us like this. That's true. Now, Barry's father, who was driving a tractor on his son's property when media showed up, said they're wasting their time. I'm not commenting about anything.
Jesus.
A clerk at the Handy Stop store, which is 5 miles from his house, said, I really wish they'd find him. We want it to be over with. Well, no shit. So they have a big vigil, a candlelight prayer service. This is in August now, this is bleeding into. Candlelight prayer service at the Goose Pond Colony Amphitheater. It's not even at a church. There's free food, singing, and guest speakers. Holy shit. They made a big deal. Yeah, go out there and find people. Now, the gun charges, the federal officer said he'll be pleading guilty on the federal weapons charge. There's not a whole lot of defense to that. He had the weapons, and he's a convicted felon, and he's not supposed to have them. So there's not. Those are the only things of evidence you need to meet for that. Did you have the weapon? No, you're in jail. So he pleads guilty to the gun charge. He's also charged with intimidating 2 witnesses in the case, as we'll talk about later on, who happen to be his own parents, Dennis and Louverine Witten, his parents. They said that Barry sent his parents a letter threatening them if they released any details about his childhood to investigators.
What was his childhood like?
That's what I mean. We don't know because his parents wouldn't tell.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So he's got to be sentenced. Now, in sentencing, they come up with something amazing. They whip out a secret jailhouse recording.
Uh-oh.
They wired up another inmate and had them sit with Barry and let him talk. Okay?
What'd he say?
Okay. He talked about in this recording ways to skin and mutilate people and their animals.
Oh, boy.
How to remove hands from arms.
Oh, my God.
How to smash a skull and teeth and scatter the bits along the interstate. And how to feed body parts to pigs.
Oh, dear God.
All things that would, make people be missing and never found.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mark Anthony Pride is the guy they had wear a concealed recording device. There, he said he talked to him several times. Also on these recordings he threatens the lives of several judges, prosecutors, local officials, and, of course, his mother-in-law. Because throw her into the mix as well. Wants to kill all these people. So he is going to be sentenced now for the federal gun charges. By the way, the average range for this is usually about 12 to 18 months you get for this charge here. But the district judge, Sharon Lovelace Blackburn, said, quote, "In all of my years on the bench, I have never heard such a defendant's potential for violence, nor have I seen someone who is more of a potential danger to the community. You, sir, may fuck off. Absolute maximum 10-year sentence."
Wow.
Fuck you. In other words, I think you killed both your wives.
I want to give
I'm
the
putting
police
you away.
a giant window to lock you up forever.
No shit. So Kim's mom says she hopes having Witten in prison will bring new information to investigators, but she's not optimistic. She said maybe people will come forward now that they don't have to be scared of him because he's in federal prison.
Right.
He's not even in the state. He goes to West Virginia for federal prison.
Wow.
He's gone. He's out of there. So she said that that Witten had bragged that everybody on Sand Mountain is afraid of him and he could do whatever he wanted and get away with it.
He loves it.
He loves it. She also said that since hearing the recording of his jailhouse talk, she said, quote, I have been on the puny side, him threatening to skin me. I have been on the puny side, him threatening to skin me. I told him if he hurts another one of my kids, I'll kill him. Okay. So a deputy here, E.J. Brown, who knows he's a Jackson County deputy and also a longtime acquaintance of the Witten family, said, quote, Barry is slick. I wouldn't put nothing past him.
Oh, boy.
That's what he said. He also said that Witten might himself be a target of vigilante justice if he returns to Sand Mountain.
Oh, they might fucking
Which I don't believe
him.
I don't think so because her family's they're not from there. So those people don't care enough.
But the town itself, they might just be
might
like,
revolt,
this guy is
like Skidmore, Missouri style.
Yeah.
Skidmore, Missouri style, like our Patreon episode, like
Fix
where the
it
whole
all.
town.
Right.
Well, the cop then went on to say, quote, somebody will kill him.
Okay.
So either way, it's all right. He just shrugged and was like, I don't know, someone will kill him. So the attorneys here, a reaction from them, his attorney, Witten's attorney, said the guilty plea to the firearms charge should have carried a sentencing range from 12 to 18 months. He said the unusually long sentence is due to the disappearances, and that's going to be appealed because there's no evidence he's responsible, and you can't sentence someone extra. It's kind of like why OJ got banged hard for that thing in Vegas. Right. No one gets that much time for that unless you got away with killing someone first. So they said that they hope having Witten in federal prison will break the case. He said, with him being locked up for that length of time, we feel like there are witnesses out there who have information who have not come forward. They may be a little more comfortable now to come forward. And they said that
wink, Ethan.
Wink. Hey, Ethan, buddy, or somebody. I don't think he knows shit though. They said that they did not uncover any evidence that would be able to prove what happened in the disappearance of Kimberly and her daughter so far. So they said at this point, his 40-acre mountain homestead obscured by the brush and the windy driveway there is now blocked by trees cut down laid across the driveway to keep thieves out.
Okay.
Like the town's going to come loot his shit now because they know he's in prison. So they'll come take all his shit apparently. So
they built a beaver dam out front?
They just put down trees in front of it, I guess. That's a cheap gate, I suppose. So his dad, Dennis Witten, said he's disturbed by the events that's happened. He said, it's bothered me more than anything in my life. I've told the county and the FBI everything I know to help solve the case. And then he wouldn't talk about it anymore. So he's like, I don't fucking know. Leave me alone. Yeah. I live in the middle of nowhere for a reason. Now, Charlie Rhodes is the chief prosecutor. And he said that in some sections of Sand Mountain that the areas themselves have a reputation for being so rough that he says, quite frankly, I think law enforcement was intimidated.
Okay.
In this case, when it first happened in the 90s, Michelle's disappearance and all that. He said, I think the first one they were intimidated. He said about the area in general, we've had a number of cases that arrests were never made from that area.
This isn't the only one.
Cops just kind of go up there and they go, I don't know, I poked around, couldn't find anything. And they don't fuck with it because they don't want to deal with these people up there.
I want the fuck out.
And these people are, fucking deal with them. They lie to you. It's a very insular area that doesn't want to deal with it. It's a pain in the ass. So 2014, he's still in jail. They're making him do the fucking bid, man. He's not, no early shit. He is, he's scheduled for release March 27th, 2016 is his release schedule date here. So January of 2015, while he's still in prison, the state charges him with Michelle's murder. Not Kim's, they can't find her. Michelle's murder from the 90s.
Okay.
They charge him. They said that they're seeking citizens' help in getting more information about the death, but they think they have enough to charge him. The Attorney General, Luther Strange, said he got the indictment on him, and they brought him back to Alabama from a federal prison in West Virginia, and he's being arraigned. He's accused of murder, obviously, on his wife. And he is accused of intentionally killing Michelle Whitten by striking her in the head and causing blunt force trauma. That's the official charge. The defense calls 2 witnesses with the same story to the stand here. And this is interesting. They both testified they saw Michelle driving in her car on the morning she disappeared. Clara Townsend, who was related to Michelle through her husband. That's her husband's a Townsend and Michelle's a Townsend.
Married aunt.
Yeah. She said she was sure it was Michelle that she saw in the car, but she said she can't be 100% sure because her hair was different and she hadn't seen her in a little while.
Okay.
Townsend said her and her husband were driving that morning, that she heard Michelle had been reported missing later on, and said they saw Michelle driving around 10 a.m., and wearing something pink, which is what she was found in, was a pink sweatsuit. So prior testimony obviously got that in there. So this Townsend said she hadn't seen Michelle's car before, but she was able to identify Michelle because she knew her. Right. And it's a small area. It's not like a big city where you're like, is that so-and-so? Probably not. If you see Michelle, it's Michelle, She said, I never thought about it anymore until we heard she was missing. And I said, I thought we saw her. I thought we had seen her that morning.
Right.
So that would be a big deal because that would be after the time she was supposedly, kidnapped by Barry or whatever. So they said that Michelle was reported missing, and the people, 2 other people said that they saw her as well. It was him and his wife were heading to a funeral that morning when they saw her. God damn it. They said they left around 10 a.m. and saw Michelle in her maroon car driving. This man said he told the court that Michelle turned and waved at them, and he said he didn't have any question in his mind that person was Michelle Whitten and her car. And the defense asked if he had told officers about that, and he replied he told multiple officers what he saw.
Okay.
It was that day, 10 a.m., after she should have been gone, and when Barry was seen driving on his own.
Yeah.
So that would be very important. So the district attorney said that the 2 witnesses were just confused about the day, probably. Okay. That was what the DA said.
And 20 years ago.
Yeah, and most likely so. But these are statements made from the time, though, that are brought out now. And most likely saw Michelle on a Saturday and not the Sunday she was gone. They said the clothes that they described her wearing were the same as the ones she had on, though, so that was the thing that he couldn't explain. Now, the trial comes in, and the defense asked, can we keep him in Alabama for this in the Jackson County jail because we need access to him? So they said they can't do that, though, because he was moved originally out of this county into Cullman County because of security reasons. Not that they're scared for his safety. They found contraband in his jail cell that looks like he was putting an escape plan together.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is amazing. So
he's
now
a bad man.
Now he's also charged with promoting prison contraband as well. Yeah. So we'll get into exactly what he had in a minute here. But at the trial, a forensic chemist for physical evidence, took the stand and said 14 fibers were found along a trail leading to Michelle's body. The chemist said 2 fibers were recovered from the grave site and before a forensic examination was carried out at Witten's home. They said the analysis determined the presence of blood in the master bedroom in an area where the carpet had been cut out. Blood was also found on the floor and on the door frame of the master bathroom.
Not good.
Not great. But again, unless it's a lot, there's a lot of blood in everybody's bathroom. It's just the way it is.
And if it's not her blood in all of it, then we got it's not great evidence.
It's no.
You got to work harder.
You got to work a little harder than that. The state calls David Young in, who said he knew Barry Witten in 2007 because he was his cellmate. This is a different guy. Yeah. They served in prison together. This David Young said they talked on a daily basis for 7 months, but prior to that, he never knew who Witten was, never heard of him. So Young said that this guy, his cellmate, was convicted on multiple felony charges. That's how he got there.
Yeah.
And he said, quote, this is what Witten told him. I'll just give you all the quotes from him. He, meaning Barry, told me he was a genius. He could get away with anything. That's what he told him. Witten told him over several conversations about Michelle, saying Witten described a night he got into an argument with her in their bedroom. Young said Witten told him Michelle threw something at him, possibly a lamp. Witten told Young at the time he came around the bed and beat her, dragged her to the bathroom and beat her some more, and then after she died from the beating, he cleaned up.
Good Lord.
Okay. He said that this argument took place while they were getting ready for bed around 9 p.m. He said the argument was about Michelle leaving Barry and that Michelle threw a lamp or a phone at him. He told the court that Barry didn't say what type of weapon he used. Just said he beat her. Young said that Witten told him after he killed her, he cleaned up, wrapped her in a towel, cleaned up the bedroom and bathroom, and took her to a wooded area on a hillside and disposed of her body there. He told the court that he knew that Witten said he knew the property owner and knew the property well, so he knew it was a good spot to do it. So the state asks what Witten had said after those conversations, and Young said that Witten told him that cops were investigating 2 other men for the crime, saying that something was found beside Michelle's car, meaning the wallet.
Right.
So, yeah. Then he said, well, he told me he was a genius and he can get away with anything. So,
and then described how she was murdered, and then it all checks out.
Yeah. But also, he's saying this happened 10 years ago. In the last 10 years, he could have Googled this guy's name and found out how the murder went down and put his story to match it. But between this and between the other guys recording, all of this just looks bad for him.
Sure enough.
But there's not a
lot of physical
smoking
evidence.
gun.
Yeah, knocking it down.
Yeah, not a lot of smoking gun evidence here on this one. So the state calls witnesses of Michelle's or friends of Michelle's to talk about if she did drugs or not, to maybe see if that one works. One of her friends said, or all of her friends says, she wasn't ever involved with drugs, and she's described by multiple people as a good girl. No drugs or anything like that. They said that one friend said she was visibly upset 2 weeks prior to her disappearance, saying she was scared and wanted to leave her husband, but she didn't know where to go. So the defense questions any inconsistencies in the statements that the Byram guy gave. Remember Shane with his wallet? Fucking old slippery fingers here, butterfingers with his wallet.
Giant pockets.
Yeah, old loose pockets here. They said that it was revealed nothing ever came out of the wallet. They dealt with this in court. Testimony also revealed that Byram provided the names of 4 other people who might have taken his wallet. Like, they might be a lead. They could have taken it. And the cop said he interviewed all of them and that none of them knew the Wittens. So they didn't know anything about that shit. So the cop finally said he was satisfied that Byram had lost his wallet but didn't know where he lost it. Happens. That's lost.
There's a man, the only man on earth, who needs cargo pants.
He needs a button or a zipper
Velcro,
or something.
Zipper, anything to keep that pocket shut.
Jesus. So now this is the defense lawyers, asked about the duct tape found in his home, and the investigator said that they took it because there was duct tape found in the hole, and they said, well, did you Was the tapes ever? Did they match? And the investigator said he didn't know, which they didn't match. I have the stuff from that. He knew they didn't match. Yeah, that's in his notes somewhere, I assume. So they then turned whether Atkinson, the investigator, sent the shotgun off to the lab, and Atkinson said it could have been. He doesn't remember. Okay. To see if there's any hair or blood or anything on the butt of the shotgun.
This is the worst police work.
This is not good police. This is the police work you'd expect from a place called Sand Mountain in the fucking tip of the Appalachians. This is what you'd expect.
Who's afraid to go into the holler to do any sort of investigation.
Literally afraid of the mountain people. Yeah. That mountain people, that holler's scary up there now. So the defense says that testimony will reveal information about a wallet that was found by the car. They're really going to paint this Shane Bynum as this like, ooh, he's a boogeyman out there. This poor bastard. Yeah, well, he's dead by now, so it doesn't matter.
He really? Oh,
he died before 2017, so he's all right. He's not hearing shit. He's dead, too. Everybody dies up here. That was the funeral the one people were going to. They were going to old Shane Bynum's funeral. Byram, whatever the fuck his name is.
He misplaces everything. He misplaced his laugh.
The defense, this is amazing. The defense says that the wallet belonged to another man, and fingerprints found on the seatbelt also add to this mystery. Now, that's just a cop who's not good at investigating
it's the
things.
Goddamn sheriff, you guys. Doesn't add any mystery.
But they put that out in the opening statement like, aren't you intrigued? Come back after the commercial break and find out here. So they ended up asking, was Shane Byram a person of interest beyond clearing him of the wallet? And they said, not at all. Yeah. They asked several other people who were acquaintances with Shane, and they said that to see if these people were ever persons of interest. And they said that everybody was followed up on. Nobody was, didn't lead anywhere. So a statement was read from one of the people that Shane said might have taken his wallet, mentioning that person had found the car, thought about going through its contents, but decided not to and didn't report it. So one of the people he accused of taking his wallet says they were out there by the car, saw the car, thought about rifling its contents, but they didn't, and they didn't report it either. They just walked away.
That looks bad.
That looks fucking terrible. The defense questioned the investigation in that aspect, whether or not the statement was followed up on, and they said that those people weren't considered suspects ultimately, and said he didn't believe the person in question even knew Michelle Whitten. Doesn't matter if he knew her. Did he kill her? That's the question. Yeah. That's the difference. Was he on the side of the road going, I need help? She pulled over and he fucking killed. Who knows? So Barry's lawyers accuse the investigation of singling out Barry as a suspect. Well, you are her husband and had a lot of suspicious shit. So,
and we always look at him first.
Always. They said that at one point he did, through the course of the investigation, single out Barry, but that was only after they excluded everybody else, and the defense was saying that you were just focusing on him from the beginning. So they also talked about some forensic techniques in the homes of the persons of interest. Did you do the same forensics you did? Did you search all of their houses with luminol? Did you look over their carpets with fine-tooth combs? So the defense also, when the forensics come up, they asked an expert what you might expect to find in the master bedroom based on the blunt force trauma that Michelle received. Right. And they said that what they would do. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. We said what they would do is that there'd be a lot of blood stains that might be found based on the injury. They said that you can't age a blood stain, so they don't know. She said she would expect to find a large drag pattern in the bedroom, and they talked about the drag pattern. She said she would expect to find blood spatter on the wall, ceiling, and furniture. Earlier testimony revealed there wasn't any of that found, although he did paint the walls, but there was nothing anywhere else either. The only blood spatter found in the master bedroom was on a light fixture, but they were unable to determine if it was human blood or not. So they don't know if he killed a goat and came in with shit on his hands. They don't know. They said you can at times detect blood through paint using a different procedure. The court heard how luminol will give any indication of any cleaning that was done in the area, and this investigator said she didn't notice any areas of cleaning done in the master bedroom through the pictures and reports presented to her in the investigation. So she said she went through everything for about 40 hours and all of this type of shit. The state said that the state asked her if she'd spoken to one of the lead investigators who worked on the case, and she said no because expert witnesses routinely don't communicate in that manner, and obviously. So that makes sense to not cloud their shit. Now, Barry's mom said, they got her on the stand, and she said, no, Barry would sit with a police scanner listening loudly at his home a few days after Michelle went missing, and he told her he was keeping up with where the police were on the scanners. Okay. Now, that could also be, are they suspicious of me?
Right.
I'm keeping a monitor on the cops, or it could be I'm worried and I want to know. So they said that Mrs. Witten, this is going to hurt him bad. His own mom did this. Whenever the proceedings at a courthouse would take place about the murder back then, if they'd have any kind of hearings, he would tell his mom, quote, I got by again, which sounds bad. But they said to the nature of the proceedings that she couldn't remember. So any other issues, he had legal issues. The state asked about the carpet in the master bedroom, and Barry's mom said that it was cut out neatly after Michelle was reported missing. They said that asked her to point out her son in the courtroom. This is weird. Mrs. Witten pointed to an area in the public seating and said he was there where her family was sitting.
No, he's not.
Okay. The state asked her to look around again and point out her son. Mrs. Witten said, if he's in the courtroom, she doesn't know him anymore.
Oh,
because he looks so different. Yeah. The way he looks at trial and the way he looked before, you literally can't recognize the man.
Is that right? Oh, he's been in prison for 10 years.
Yeah, well, before he had this big beard and all this shit. Now he's clean shaven. He's got like slick back hair. Completely different looking guy.
Wow.
Doesn't look like they're from the same planet, these two guys. So she says he doesn't look like her son to her. He went and shaved clean and combed his hair.
He looks so nice. I can't
he
tell
looks
anymore.
all clean. No shit on his clothes. That's a sign right there. Yeah, at that, Barry showed emotion for the first time and kind of looked sad. So the defense asked her if Michelle had a temper, and Barry said that they both had a bad temper. Or not Barry, Barry's mom said, yeah, both of them had a bad temper. Barry had a temper, Michelle had a temper, and she said, I have a temper too, goddammit. We all do. And they said, well, did Barry and Michelle not get along? And she said, I don't know anything about that. I don't live with them. So the defense turned to the topic of the holes in the carpet again. And Barry's mom said that Michelle told her about a little prick of the carpet that was mussed up, as she put it. A little prick that was mussed up.
What a wild way to say it. It's
little
stained.
Prick that was mussed up, saying that Ethan, the couple's son, had pricked it up.
What
does that mean?
That?
Cut it or messed it up? Pricked it, messed it?
A bunch of the shit out?
It mussed it all up, Jimmy.
He used a comb on the carpet. And
he mussed it good. So the defense then asked Barry's mom about the scanner Barry was listening to after Michelle went missing, asking Barry's mom if Barry was listening for any news of Michelle, and Mrs. Witten here said that he was listening for any news on law enforcement and what was going on, which is what you would do if you were a murderer worried about shit, or a worried husband, one of the two. That's a problem. So the state asks Mrs. Witten again if she'd seen her son Barry in the courtroom. They get her back and they go, let's go back to if you see Barry in the courtroom.
Remember that?
To which Mrs. Witten replied she did see him and she described him. She identified him as the man sitting by the defense lawyers. So
that's the guy.
She admitted it finally. So this goes to the jury for deliberation. How long would this take to deliberate? I mean, you'd have to.
If I'm there, it's still going.
It's still going. Well, they get it over with in 2 hours.
What?
So I don't know if they saw a different trial than I just described to you.
2 hours?
2 hours. In a murder trial, that's the paperwork, man. They get in there. How are we doing? Should we take a vote? Sure. Well, would you look at that? Guilty. All right, let's fill out the shit. That's how long that is.
Wow.
In a jury room, getting 12 people together. So, wow. At the sentencing hearing, a letter from Michelle's mother comes in and was read into the court record. And she says, I never imagined Michelle would grow up to be murdered. Michelle was a decent person. She loved her family very much. I give God the glory that her body was found. There's no greater crime than to take the life of another. There will be no closure. There is no closure, but at least there's justice. So
at the sentencing hearing, he's guilty. They got him guilty.
Yeah, guilty.
What?
2 hours, bro. That's what I mean. Guilty. Found guilty. Yeah. What are you kidding me? What do you think, that they were going to find him innocent in 2 hours?
Where they had the shotgun with blood all over it or something?
No, nothing.
What?
I told you, all the physical evidence, none of it matches up. It's all...
Oh, my God.
It's all a lot of circumstantial, but none of it... Nobody even saw him coming out of the wood. There's no way to connect them other than very vague things.
They, as the people of that town, hate that man.
Hate him, yes. So the judge comes in, and there's a lot of sentencing leeway here. The judge says, you, sir, may fuck off, life in prison.
Holy shit.
And $30,000 in fines and victim compensation as well. So that way they're going to sell his shit.
In 2016?
Yep, in 2016. Now, also, he's charged with promoting prison contraband, don't forget,
right?
Amid allegations that for the potential for escape in Jackson County. Those items included pencil shavings and pencil graphite, which could be used to start a fire. Okay. Now, in prison, in the handbooks of when you're allowed to use deadly force, it's like when someone's doing this, when someone's doing that, if someone's trying to set the prison on fire. That's one of the things you can kill somebody for because they could die. You could kill a lot of people doing that. Yeah. So they take that seriously in prison. He was also found to have hard plastic pieces sharpened into stabbing tools. Mm-hmm. That's handy. Sure. And a 42-inch length of rope taken from a laundry bag.
Huh.
So he could have done a lot with those things. Yeah. I don't know if they were escaping so much as if it was, I can choke people with this, stab people with this. I can start a fire. Yeah, I can build a cross. Yeah, who knows? So of the reaction here of this whole thing, so life in prison, the Attorney General said, I hope that this conviction will potentially lead to more evidence that may lead us to solve the other crimes that Mr. Witten may have been involved in. And I'm hoping now that he's been put away that others may come forward with information that they know. He said, this is an extraordinary case. It's the oldest case our office has handled that has resulted in a conviction. This type of case is the perfect example of the difficulty and the hard work that goes into solving a cold case, a case that so many people thought might not ever be solved. They had no more information or evidence 10 years later than they did when it happened. It wasn't like they were like, oh, then a smoking gun. No, it was 17 years later. It was the exact same amount of evidence they had. Wow. They didn't have new DNA techniques, make it so we can get none of that shit. Nothing. So Ethan at this point, by the way, after that is by then is 19 years old and in the Air Force.
Is that right?
In 2020, by then he was in the Air Force. Yeah, he did not attend the trial or sentencing. Shit. He's got to be upset, I would imagine, the poor guy. And I hope he's being left alone. Now, 2017, Michelle, he has an appeal for this murder conviction, and they affirm his conviction. He filed an application for a rehearing asking the Court of Appeals to reconsider its decision, and they said, go fuck yourself. Hell no. Life in prison, eat dicks.
Wow.
So, Kimberly and Haley are still missing today. They've never been found.
Well, I mean,
never been
giving
found.
You a lot of information about where you'll never
He's
find them.
talking about skinning. He's talking about breaking skulls and feeding things to pigs, but they're still missing.
Teeth. Wow.
If anybody, I know nobody does, but you never know. Any information, you contact the Alabama Attorney General's cold case hotline, 866-419-1236, or email them at coldcasetips@alabamaag.gov.
Well, promptly do nothing with it.
Nothing at all. Yeah, what are they going to do with that? But a little description, the daughter, I mean, she was 11 at the time, so she would be, she'd be 25. She'd look nothing like she was then. They did age progression, but who knows? Kimberly, I mean, her pictures, you would probably be able to tell. She's a larger woman. Yeah. She's 5'9", 270 pounds. So she's a big woman, and have a daughter who used to be 11. That's basically what to look for. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Hey, that daughter, was she 11 once? Yeah, okay, well... Other than that, I got nothing for it. But
holy fuck, man.
Is Section, Alabama. And one hell of a crazy case. They don't have. He is absolutely should not have been convicted of that. As much as I think he killed both the wives and want him in prison. Yeah, want him in prison. But I'm talking about just from a individual court case, narrow view. There's no fucking way on earth that guy should have been convicted of this shit, right?
Terrible evidence.
Terrible evidence. They got no new evidence. They were like, let's just do it anyway.
Let's give it a shot.
It's 10 years later. It's less fresh in people's minds. I'm sure people will be great witnesses. It's going to be fantastic.
Wow.
That's crazy, man.
Didn't even recognize the guy.
Didn't even to the point where his own mother didn't recognize him. That's how long ago it was. So there you go. That is Section Alabama. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, tell the world about it. It really does help us out a lot. If you get on whatever app you're listening on, give us 5 stars, say something nice. It helps drive you up the charts for some reason. It's part of the weird algorithm of all of these apps. So do that. It's just to help spread the show. You know what I mean? And you should spread the show.
Yeah.
Personal fave over here. And you should spread the show. Spread it to everyone you can. Tell your friends. Post on social media. That's the way shows spread the best.
Right.
We could advertise. We could do all this shit. Nobody cares about
Doesn't
that.
matter.
They care about their friend who they trust going, dude, this show's funny. That's what they like. So check that out. Do that, please. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com today and get your tickets for the live shows in 2023. We are talking everything through May is available right now. Kicking it off with February 10th in Cleveland, February 11th in St. Louis, and those are very close to being sold out.
They're very close in general. They're only a few weeks away.
And they're a few weeks away, so that would make sense why they're close. And then we have Seattle and Portland, which are also going fast, and then Pittsburgh and Detroit, which are also flying off the shelves in May. So get in there and do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, follow us on social media. Very easy to do that. We're at Murder Small on Twitter, at SmallTownPod on Facebook, at SmallTownMurder on Instagram. Right. And you should also head over to Patreon. My goodness. You're going to hear a list of the wonderful people who've done that in a second. But patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the bonus materials. Yes. And we put up a lot of bonus materials, everybody. There's over 150 back episodes of bonus shit to binge on. A cup of coffee will get you all of this. $5 a month or above. And then every other week, you're going to get 2 new episodes. One crime and sports, one small town murder, and you are going to get it all. I'm telling you right now. And for this week, for crime and sports, the episode is going to be on Patreon. When athletes attack fans.
Yeah.
So this will be someone's heckling, someone's doing shit. Sometimes it's one guy. I have one where the whole team went into the stands after one guy. Like 8 guys went in with hockey sticks to kill this man. So just crazy times when athletes have snapped and said, enough! And just gone in and pummeled.
I can take no more!
They can take and pummeled mere mortals in the stands, clutching their nachos. Just pummeled them. So we'll talk about that. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about something very interesting. Nazis on drugs. What was the leadership of Germany on? We have books with lots of records of the doctors and also the records of like Hitler, Goering, all these guys. What the fuck were they taking to make their brains go, this is working? No, it's working. I'm telling you, we're going to be fine here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And when you hear about when things happened and then what drugs were administered and then the weird, crazy thing the Nazis did after that made no sense, you'd go, yeah, because Hitler's on drugs. That's why. We'll talk all about it. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all of that and more. And that more is we're going to tell you how much we love you right now by letting Jimmie mispronounce your name terribly while I giggle in the background. We'll flip the roles here for this. Let's get it on, everybody. Hit me with those names, Jimmie, right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Robin Heyer. Keep going, Robin. She didn't explain what she's dealing with, but hang in there. It's terrific to have you.
You got this.
Italian Grandma Marilyn Brandfast, James. That's your the new one.
Nice.
Simon
nice.
Frost and Mary Lou Valeron. That may be a misspelling. Mary Lou, thank you.
Thank you.
Other producers this week are Ginger Lee and her friends, Sheila Torres, Darcy. No, that's not Sheila. It's Suhila. It auto-corrected to Sheila. So your name is now Sheila Torres.
There you go, Sheila. Enjoy
Darcy
your new name.
Standifer, Ann Lund, thinking of you, Peyton Meadows, Maria Coop-Sousley, Corporal Carl Kirshner, Jennifer Bohuis, Janice Hill, Maria Victoria Munoz, Brandy Huntley, Michaela Rotert. Happy birthday, DeLuca. I don't. There's no first name. That may be the first name. Well,
happy birthday. Fuck it.
Joy Nix. Joynix. That is a first and a last name.
Wow.
Done
letters.
in 6 letters. That's
Damn,
impressive.
Not even half of my last name. That's it. Like
Zach Dermid. Jennifer Falconer. Carl. Faynant. I'm
Fanante.
It's got to be a silent G. Brandon with no last name. Alicia Cox. Carolina Simmons. Troy Matz. Sabrina Durham. Will with no last name. Dan Morgan and Andy Foster, I think. Beth with no last name. Tyler Haley. Yep, Victor Flores, Matthew Rhodes, Melissa Saldana, Jade Viger, I think. Oh boy. Julia Holt, Hot.
One of those.
Nacho with no last name. Jude Kendall, Heather Duke, Amanda Gross maybe. Jennifer with no last name. Jared Kingston, Stephen DeForest, Rachel Sexsmith, Katie, nope, that's just Kate Ostrovsky. Justin with no last name. Lorianne Alala, Wes Clark with no, wait, that is the last name. Sarah Hill, Carrie McCown, Ryan with no last name, Rachel Crow, Nick with no last name, Nicholas Murphy, Kayla Scruggs, Davin Leslie Young, Jesus, Brett Persing, Flora Reichenstatter,
yeah,
Reichnader, Matthew Leary, Angela Hirsch, David Chirino, Kelly Bard, Natalie Graber, Christina Lipinskis, Olivia Green, Erica Grand, Melinda Benson, Matt Adams, Jimmie with no last name, Nathaniel Lowe, Mike Tees, Kim Smiley, Eyes of Mary, Marion with no last name, Steve with no last name, Endelian Hopkintino. Nope, that's Endelian Hopkinton.
You thought you were on that one. Hopkintino? You made him Italian. Good job.
Ina Gurged, Christopher Begay, Charlie Brown, Logan Anderson, Charlotte Scott, Megan Troy, Carissa Vincent, Jen, maybe. CHR is an abbreviation for something. Kraus with no that's a last name.
Jeez,
what is happening?
Good Lord.
Jessica Detlefson. Like Detlef Schrempf, James?
Yes.
That's her last name is Detlefson.
Awesome.
Allison Knudsen, Amy Curino, Quinoa, Diamond Clark, yes. Kelly Vicole, Nikki Meyer, Vinny Peluso, Lindsay Peoples, Milsurp Hand Loader. Christopher the Rushing, Krista Raymert, I think. Wendy Warner, Alyssa Heister, Mary Tanner, Dane Livesay, Dawn Lingbeek, Tanya, Carly. I don't know anymore. Jared Hayes, Sierra Moore, Trent Carpenter, oh boy, Kaylin, Centillo, Kention.
Are those the same attempt at the same spelling of words?
Exact same try.
Okay. That was
Reese
another name.
Humphreys, Samuel Smothers, Tanisha Barlow, Maria with no last name, Nicole with no last name, Tony Q, Ellen Faller, Nicole Jackson, Brendan Wilsey, Siri Ann, Carrie Ann, Ricky with no last name, Ricky Crawford, Tony Green, Cassandra Bartz, I think, Mage McLeod, all right, Andrea with no last name, Michelle Hubbard, Jennifer Middlestat, Jason McGee, Dan Dietz, David Jordan, Corvus Jenko. His wife loves my laugh, evidently.
Who doesn't?
It's a raspy one. Jimmy Mack, 03, Kimberly DeVaglia, Amanda Farmer, Chris Moffitt, sat on a Toffet. Sterling Blakely, Nick Stevens, Alexander Osborne, Nora Harrington, Steve Koenig. I think it's Koenig. Carrie Jernigan, Taylor Wilson, Dale Langston, Mr. Trevor, and Oji Trish Ferries, Eric with no last name, Tiffany with no last name, Alika, that's not Alika, that's Alicia, right? There's not an I there, it's just Alika. No last name.
Alika.
J.C. Robertson II, Destry and Mackenzie's mom, JESF 412, Misty Monroe, Marky B, Terry Rogers, Sam Elzabi, Katie with no last name, Brandy Martin, Annika with no last name, Donna Davis, Tarnia, is that right? Wolnoff, maybe. Lisa with no last name, Jay Jeanette, Nancy Puglisi. What is that, James? That's Italian, right? Pugliese? Pugliese. Is that Pugliese? Pugliese.
Keep trying, Jimmy, because this is the best thing ever.
Pugliese.
It's probably, Pugliese, yeah.
Pugliese. It sounds gross. Paul Evenden, Christine Kruer, Susan Cotton, Billy Martins, Aiden
I love it so much.
Valerie C. and all of our patrons. We do love it so much.
Thank you, everybody, so much for what you do for us. We're honestly blown away by it, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you for being there. We hope you love the bonus material. We're going to keep it coming hot and heavy, like always. If you want to follow us on social media, there's links on shutupandgivememurder.com to everything, all social media for the show, for us, for all that shit. Follow us. Keep coming back. Get all the latest updates. And listen to the damn show all the time. Check Crime and Sports back out again. Express on Fridays. Yeah. Keep doing that. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus